I hope you like the intro, guys.
I was like, yeah, why have you got me down as the one that's like drinking? Then like all of you, yeah.
Oh, Ray's got a can of lager. Ray had a can of lager in his.
I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to.
Just to make everybody aware, that was actually sherbet.
Yeah, it's sherbet. it dab. Jameson. There you go. Oh, that's what you were. That's what you had on your.
If I get high on it, right, I'll let everyone know, so you can all go out and buy out all the supplies of Dip Dab.
How much is that? 99p.
I'm just stunned. I'll probably be ill now.
Bloody hell.
30 pence.
God. Yeah, so thanks for joining, everyone. Just have a look in the chat. Catherine Day, Simon B.A., Adam George, Wanted Coachman, Chris Woolman, Great Awakening Team Denmark. Good to see you on. Cat Caveman, Tom on a Mission, Louis Summers, 247 Hinky. Great intro, thank you. It did have Vacant Haven on it, but obviously you couldn't join us tonight, unfortunately. It's been a while since the four of us have been on, I think, at the same time.
Yeah, because like the other time you did live, I was asleep when you did it, so I couldn't come on.
Was that my not haunted, but the paranormal stream? Was that the last one I did? I don't remember now.
I only come on once a month.
Come on once a month.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Every 28 days.
28 days
later.
28 days earlier.
Yeah, 28-day bleeder. But Steve's looking incredibly shaved, and me too.
Yeah, it's teamwork. It was not literally, but I'll tell you what. Though, it gets bloody annoying in the sun and the heat.
I reach up there and shave him, and he reaches down and shaves me. So yeah,
two-way shaving.
Yeah.
Sure. And I just look messy over this stubble.
Cut myself. You'll get one out. You got 10 minutes to go and shave, mate.
No.
I've noticed of late, your hair is sort of like
you got like a little tufty bit up here.
Tufty, like a Tintin.
Yeah, ginger Tintin. It's even going red. Look at it. That's natural.
So natural. My God.
Because I'm worth it.
What slogan's that from? That's not L'Oreal, is it?
Yeah, it was, I think. Could be worth it. Tell them what you're drinking then, and what your thoughts are on that.
I'm sure everyone what you're drinking.
I'm a Guinness drinker. Now, I saw this earlier and I thought, well, I don't fancy an alcoholic beverage, so I'll buy this. It's the worst drink I've ever tasted.
Is it really that bad?
I'll bring a can with us on Saturday, and then you can have some when you get home.
Yeah, just pull up beside the officer and be like, "Hello, officer." Are you allowed to drink that at will?
I did wonder, especially when I got ID'd for it.
Yeah, you will. Well, why did you get ID'd if it's got 0% alcohol?
I think it's 0.0 something. It has to be a certain amount threshold before it's classed as alcohol free.
0.05% alcohol, even though it says 0.0. Try and work that one out.
Oh,
you Forest Explorer, look at your bloody phone if you're still in the chat.
So you could drive along drinking that at will. Not that I'm saying go and do that. I'm saying you can do that.
Yeah, because you have to drink a hell of a lot in order to fail a breathalyzer, that lot, wouldn't you? You could have cans of it in the car, couldn't you? You could have cans all over the car, and you're like, police officer like comes up, and you're like, I'm totally all right, officer. He's like, because literally, like, it's like that. With Nail and I, when he was saying, if I get pee from a child, and I put it in a little bag with a pipe, then I can put this thing down my trousers. He was saying, and when they ask you for a pee sample, he said you just pull out your pipe and put it in there, and you give them a sample of unadulterated child urine, and they have to give you your fucking keys back. That's what he was saying. So, yeah.
Eddie Wilson says you have to try tea and Maria and Guinness together.
No, because I don't.
That.
No, you don't want to waste. Don't want to ruin Guinness. Bearing in mind, I've technically ruined it tonight. And I'm still drinking.
I saw a message for you, Matt, from where is it? I think Paul Robbins say enjoyed your Red Sands Fort. I don't know where it's gone now.
I think you had a donation, Catherine Day, £3.
I did, yeah. I said thanks for that. So thanks again, Catherine.
It gets delayed on StreamYard. That's why I always bring up another window.
Yeah, shame about your drone, Matt.
Did you not know about that?
Yeah, you told me about it, but it was about a month ago. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I totally lost the drone in the water. It was my fault. I was doing this shot where I was like looking up, and as I was looking up, I was also descending, but I forgot to stop descending, and I just sort of went plump into the water.
Because you fly without your sensors on, don't you? Does the sensor pick up water, like if you're that low?
Well, the trouble is, the sensors go haywire with water. So specifically, I don't turn them on for water because the waves going one way make it look. It's got like a downward vision sensor, and it looks. And if it sees an object, it knows whether it's standing still by whether the object is moving or not. Yeah.
Right.
But because waves are moving and it thinks it's not moving, it can't reconcile that, and it starts making erratic movements apparently. So if you turn the sensors off, it's better over water.
Excuse me.
Because you were really low, weren't you? And it was good, excellent footage, but you could see when the drone was,
Yeah, the trouble is, I was looking through my phone screen again. If I wear my goggles, I'm much more immersed. I don't tend to make these sorts of mistakes. But hey ho.
What's this
one? A lot of use out of the drone, so. Bomb scare outside a shopping centre.
Ouch. I don't think you're that far from us, Louise, grand scheme of things. Didn't hear anything about that. I'll look on the, probably on the Daily Echo somewhere. Proving Raven, not too bad. Hope you're all good.
Oh, actually, I'll message this to you, Matt, actually.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do it. I've got some pins from somebody that we were talking about the other day. He's actually sent me some pins. If I said the Daily Echo to you, you'll probably know.
Where did he send them via envelope?
He sent them via Facebook because I sent you. But
say,
not the one I wanted though.
Don't want to stab yourself with them.
I'm going to get a drink a second because I've got nothing up here, so I'll be back now.
Maybe Ray could donate you one of his Guinnesses.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah.
Tip upside down, tip all over your laptop.
Oh, you got it all on my keyboard now. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you.
I don't know what New Forest Explorer's doing. I can see he's seen the link, and then I said, come on, he's not read that next message. So
Eddie said, I fell over water yesterday, first time ever. Explore Norfolk, how you doing?
Hello, mate.
Pompey Explores, if you're still in there. I did get your email today. Sorry for the late reply. Went into the junk, and I check it sort of once, twice a week. My exploring with an email. So if anyone does email me, I'm not ignoring you. It's just it either goes junk or I don't get it for a good few days. But I always try and reply to everyone. But if you want to get hold of me, it's probably best just drop a comment on any of my vids.
And also, Pompey Explores, we did try to get hold of you that Saturday, but it went to answer phone. So if you have a withheld number come through, that was me.
Right. Just going to add Mr. John. Try to anyway. There it is. John, how you doing, mate?
All right, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
Good.
Whoa, that sounds satisfying. Is that Matt pouring his drink?
Yeah. I've only got one pint, actually, so I haven't had a drink in ages.
Are you lads drinking beer?
I'm drinking 0%.
Oh,
It's not really beer, though, is it?
It's disgusting, but I don't want to waste it.
I've got to taste it. I don't want to buy. I'll just have one of yours. I don't want to buy a whole pack.
No, I'll let you have one of
gonna
these,
have
and then you can
some
bloody
whiskey.
try it.
I'll give you 20p for it.
You can have it.
Oh, wicked!
Well,
I don't
Bring
get
it
all this,
Saturday.
0% alcohol, because I think you're better off drinking something like juice or Pepsi or something like that, rather than drinking bloody, fake beer.
Coke I can understand. Full fat versus diet, but beer, it's a bit like the Cadbury's. They brought out like a less sugar version. If you're gonna have it,
yeah.
just have the proper one. But just have it in moderation.
The unalcoholic beer gives me more of a headache than normal beer. I can drink 1-2 of those unalcoholic and I just have a massive headache.
Well, that's bloody useless, isn't it? Because that's the whole thing. If you're
That's
gonna
right.
get pissed, there's going to be consequences. You don't want consequences if you ain't going to get pissed.
I know. I mean, I've had it when I was like, I used to obviously go down the pub quiz night. I used to drive down there with a few people, rotate it. So when I was driving, I wouldn't drink. I'd just have an alcoholic. And in the end, I went, bollocks to that. I'll just have a Coke or something because the beer just tastes dirt and it just gives me a headache. So I don't see any point in it really.
Cheers, Barry. Kenneth, I'm not sure if you're still in, but I've just got your PayPal donation through. Thanks very much for that, mate. Appreciated. All goes back into the channel for fuel and coffees. Oh, your mate is here, Ray, I think.
What, Nick?
Yeah, I just had him in.
Here he is.
Hello, mate.
How's it going? Right.
Is he in a land of poo or something?
Hey?
It's very brown and dark.
Very brown.
Are you round
Greenville?
James Lay's house?
Let me stick a light.
Yeah.
That's red. That's red.
Oh, hey, that's better.
Is that better?
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I told you he'd be drinking some kind of alcoholic beverage before he comes on. I did say.
So wait, what's that, a Merlot?
Wine, mate, tonight. Wine.
What type? Merlot? Cavion?
Shiraz.
California.
Rioja? Sure. Californian, so that'd be...
Shiraz, probably.
It
What is
is
that?
Winemaker's Blend. Apothecary Red Winemaker's Blend.
I don't know where that noise is coming from, but
What noise?
it's like wind coming through the
Fan.
speakers.
It's your
You got
Guinness,
a fan
mate.
on?
I've got a fan on. Let me move it so it makes a difference. Hang on.
Did you just blow it over?
Blow what? Fan over?
All we heard as soon as you turned it off, it went, and then it stopped.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's an 18-inch fan, so I don't want to be messing about with that.
Mm.
But,
Is
Nick,
it coming from you, Exploring Within? If you press mute for a second.
yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's the
Do you want me to turn
host.
up?
The host has got
It's
the
the
most
host.
annoying, noisy fan, yes.
Yeah, if it's too bad, I'll...
Nick, apparently, talking to Kaylee, that t-shirt takes about 3 weeks.
It's been dispatched today, apparently, so hopefully I'll get it in the next couple of days.
Apparently, it comes from America.
Really?
Does
According
it?
to
Okay.
their merch came from America, apparently, and that's
Probably
the same
next
website.
5 days then.
Because I was going to say, because the one I ordered from a different site should turn up tomorrow. So,
What do you
I've
mean
never
you
heard
ordered
that
it from
before.
a different site?
but I've got because I wanted mine quicker, and I want it for this weekend, so I ordered it because I've already had it before. So,
I've got a very cheap way of doing that. Just wear one of my regular polo shirts and just put a sticker on my chest. Sorted.
Yeah.
Cheaper, isn't it?
Cheap and cheerful. I might try that.
£23 that cost, Ray, with postage, so it better be good.
fingers crossed. I wasn't expecting anybody to buy them, to be honest, but
Yeah. Done
Wow.
all right. First hour, you got a few, didn't you?
Yeah,
Got to get
three.
it going a little bit.
Is that your latest video then? Security dodging at disused cement works.
It was indeed. Yeah, I thought I'd throw that out after however many months it was.
That is your latest video, is it? Right. Okay.
Because I haven't even put that one out yet. Because that was the first time I ever used my gimbal. That one.
You're taking a leaf out of my book because I know Matt puts his out like straight away, and then I tend to sit on them for a little bit.
I got to find time to edit this week, so
I think my next video is probably going to be a time capsule house cottage.
well, if we use if you do the bikers cottage one, you better not put that thing in like Kaylee did and Andrew, because it was quite funny. They actually thought they inputted a sound clip when it was not a sound clip at all. But
yeah, we're just
yeah.
But no, I'm not going to do that one.
No.
I'm going to do. It has got her in it, but it's a different one.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the one I've just edited. I think I've edited 2 today already. One's a death trap place. I think it's dodgy. It had like so the floorboards were so rotted. It had like a 15-foot drop into the basement, so it was a really risky explore.
Was that one you did the other day?
Yeah, last week. So that was a real risky one. So I'll probably put that out as a more advisory video, like what to look out for, rather than actual explore, because we didn't actually manage to get in most of it because the floor had collapsed. But it was all fun. I think Tinska's having some issues getting on.
Yeah. That's what he just said. Keep him a spot. So there's one spot for him.
Death
You
trap.
say Zach from the States. What's his? I forget his name of his channel now. Bloody hell!
I think Icy posted something about that.
Yeah, he's got
So
a. Zach has got an
Famous
Urbex conference coming up.
Is it the? Hang on, let me open the page up so if it's the same one. Got to turn my cookies off. Pain in the ass.
You know, just looking for his post he sent me now. Hang on.
Oh, that's what I was going to say to you, Nick. You've hit 100 subscribers, I see.
Yeah, almost exactly a year to the day. On the 17th, it'll be exactly a year. Pretty pathetic, eh?
Wow.
This is a bit dumb.
101 now, actually. So, but that is down to Matt putting out his video, obviously with me in it. Since then, I've got those extra subscribers because I was on 70 before that. So,
Cool. How did you find the other night, Nick?
yeah, really
Bunker.
good. Yeah, short
Nice
and
little one,
sweet.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
Yep.
it was good. Yeah,
Thanks, Andrew.
surprisingly, how big it is down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going to name where it was to protect
No.
it. What's
I've just said
that for Andrew?
Dorset.
Rooted. What
Rooted
happened to
Expeditions. Rooted Expeditions. No, Zach.
Yeah. Zach.
he's-
Yeah, I know Zach. Yeah, I've been on.
He's
his stream.
basically got a conference, a convention for Urbex, which is
Yep.
in 30 days' time.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can find out some information on it. I did say we'll have to get him on the show just to talk about what the final details are.
Yeah, he's a nice chap, Zach. Because
It's called Urbex Con. Urbex Con.
Okay.
He was talking
I'm
about
sure.
it a while ago.
Barry was on about that as well, wasn't he?
I think that's something different.
Yeah, that's different. It wants to. That's hopefully in the UK next year.
If you go to Eventbrite, eventbrite.com, which is a ticket thing, and you do UrbexCon 2021, and UrbexCon is all one word, you can find it. And the tickets are like $40, and it's at Ridgeline Hotel in Estes Park, CO, which I think is Colorado. So, yeah.
So
I've
we
got it.
need to book some tickets then, do we?
Well, yeah, a bit far to go for me, unfortunately. But one day probably.
Do you want to? What do you want to do, Ray? BA or Virgin?
BA, I suppose.
Or American Airlines? Have to go BA. I think.
Ray definitely wants to be a Virgin. Yeah,
Not go for Gatwick. Terrible airport.
No way, Gatwick.
Banana Man Airlines.
Yep.
KLM
wants to be a Virgin. BA Virgin.
Yeah. The amount of times we've flown on those double deckers, right?
Yeah.
Good times before COVID.
Indeed.
Sorry, I can't say that. I mean,
cough, cough, sniff, sniff. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've got a question in the chat.
Yeah, be careful with this because this was he was blocked just a minute ago by Barry, so I don't know what that.
Where you nearly came a cropper. Is there an exploreway call to mind where you nearly came a cropper? It depends what you mean by came a cropper, because there's getting arrested. That's sort of like, shit. Coming a cropper. I suppose probably just the last couple of days when my boat got stuck in the mud, and I had to reverse the car down with inches to each side. And if
I saw your video.
Yeah, if it went off the edge, it would be in mud and we wouldn't get pulled out. And we had to drag the boat up the beach. And the thing is, it's just the mud was just intense, I mean, it could have been 5-6 feet. I mean, it was coming up to my waist, the mud. And it was really hard to get out. When you sort of fell in off the edge of the slipway, it was really bad. So, that was pretty intense, to be honest, because, falling in water, you can just swim. You fall in water, fall in this mud, I mean, you could sink and die. I mean, it is pretty bad where we were. So I can say now because it's red sands, and we went off from Rochester, but really, really bad. That's about the worst thing that's probably happened to me. I think best to think of any. Oh, hang on, there was a time down at the Plymouth at the Mount Wise bunker, and to get away from the security guards, I turned my torch off and I was running across the roofs, and I thought, oh, there, if I can jump from this to this, but it wasn't. It was like a jump, and it just dropped, but my 3D sense wasn't there, and I was just literally I thought I can get across that, and it was there was nothing to jump onto. I just went down like a sack of shit, whacked my arm, my neck, and it's and then ripped the lens off my camera. So I grabbed up all the bits, and I just carried on running on adrenaline, and it's shit, But I could have broken my neck, could have broken bones, and all because I wanted to be clever by turning my torch off to run away, so they wouldn't see me. I should have just kept the torch on,
Well, we nearly came a cropper when we were at where was it, Steve? We were trying to get into Drake's Island. When we nearly slipped off the rocks.
Oh, it's really horrible, those rocks.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, it wasn't told you so.
Yes, I did tell them so.
He did.
I said, now you go down the left, and yes, you might get your feet wet, but just keep going round and it'll come up. Don't go to the right. It's really bad. Don't do it.
Alex did fall over going the other way though. So either way.
But falling over and slipping on slippy rocks, and then it's trying to climb up a vertical face and realizing it gets worse and worse as you get up.
It was on the way back when it started raining. That's the issue.
But to be fair, if we didn't go the way we did, we wouldn't have seen that quite nice looking woman on the beach. Hi, if you're watching.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have nearly got a picture of her.
I don't think I gave him a sticker.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, because he was trying to go for a pee, look for someone to go for a pee, and you shocked him with your drone.
Tracy Jackson said I should do a live stream or something to sort of raise money for another drone. Wow. Yeah, what drone are you using at the moment? Because you've got a backup one, haven't you? I had a
Or you're
backup
not?
one which I was going to sell. Lucky I didn't sell it. It's my other Mavic 2, but it's the Mavic 2 Professional, which has got the 1-inch sensor. But I don't really like it per se because the zoom does so much more zooming in, that it keeps you safe. Although, unless you crash into the water. Yeah, it's okay. It's got a nice sensor on it. But the thing is, as well, it's supposed to be the more professional of the two because the zoom has just got a normal image sensor in it and a normal lens. And the 2 Professional is supposed to be a Hasselblad lens with a 1-inch sensor. And it's like, but it's got a bend in it. It's barrel distorted. So every piece of footage you shoot, you have to put it into Premiere and you have to distort, undistort it. And it's like, that's if you want the proper color modes, like the 10-bit color, super duper mode, and it's like, but if you just put it in crap mode, just 8-bit color, it then corrects for it. And it's like, so that's a Hasselblad lens, is it? A bent experience. I'd rather not have a Hasselblad lens then. Can I have a crap lens that just doesn't bend the image? So yeah, I think they're just taking a piss with that. They were when they brought that out. Yeah.
Well, you have to grab stuff from me and Alex for the time being.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have been asking people for their footage, just because sometimes if I see somebody else's filming, it just seems like a waste of time actually getting the drone out, because it's like,
the amount of times me and Alex are flying, because we both fly at the same time. Obviously, we don't stand next to each other because of the interference, but it's amazing we haven't crashed yet. Because no, I mean together, collided. Because we're working in the same environment, and ideally we're sort of communicating with each other, saying, "What height are you?" His is in meters, which means nothing to me. Mine's in feet. So when he says, "Oh, I'm 30 meters up," like I don't know what that is. I'm like 100 feet up. So just
meters
we don't
times 3. That's feet.
Yeah, it's 3 in it or something like that. Yeah. But when you're in heat at the moment and you're flying, you haven't got time to do calculations. But luckily we've been all right so far. Just sort of visually look where the drones are, and if we don't, we kind of just stop and work it out.
Because Nick, didn't you buy some new equipment this week?
Only a case to go around the iPhone that you can put all the attachments like a microphone, the light, tripod, all sorts of bits. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all right. It's good, mate. I haven't used it yet, but yeah, pretty good.
Hi, David.
Small Rig, it's called. Got it on Amazon.
People with iPhones are determined that they're actually really, really, really good cameras, and they're not.
To be fair, the new iPhone 13, the new portrait mode on video, that's really good.
Every iPhone that comes out, they're telling people like this is it. It's like you can make movies with this now. You can literally you're Steven Spielberg. You're a Steven Spielberg. It's like what? But hang on then. So what? Why are they bringing out a new phone then? Because the old one was good enough, surely. It's like so the iPhone 13 now beats it all. Nah, it's just crap. iPhones are crap.
I think
cameras are crap.
Well,
I've always had iPhones. Always.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're crap.
I have got proper cameras, but just too much hassle for me. Too heavy.
I think Ray, next time we go out filming, we'll just print a Samsung sticker off and put it on the back of our phone, and then everything will be all right.
And then it'll blow up because it won't. The battery will just blow up.
Yeah, because you're not going to have enough cooling. They do shut off, don't they, Apples, if they get too warm? It's like,
yes,
they just
they
do. No.
Yeah. But I've only had that
screen goes dark.
Once when it was 38 degrees, so I had to put it in the fridge, and the other was, I think, in the car when we do a live stream and it's like boiling.
It was. I'll tell you when it was.
Yeah.
It was on the way back from Wales when you were on the Matt's live stream in my car.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What I have noticed when you're recording video, when it gets too hot, the screen goes dark and you can't see what you're doing. But they say to get rid of that, just take the case off, let it cool down for a few minutes. Yeah, when I've been out in the forest doing some video and that, the screen just goes really dark. You've got the brightness full up, but you just can't see the screen. That's the only sort of problem
Debbie Sullivan in the chat. Where are you from? Because it's still evening here, so I'm guessing you're east, around the globe somewhere. I did see a question about, is it this one? So Ray and Matt have DJI gimbals, and me and Matt have the DJI drones, and what not to do and stuff like that.
Are they talking about a DJI pocket phone or a DJI gimbal for your phone?
That's a good question. Yeah, do you mean
what sort of gimbal do you mean?
Or the pocket?
Because I can give you all sorts of advice based on what you've got. Oh, she's from Tasmania. Of course, yeah. Because I mean,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, because I think we've said this before. Like Tasmania is like such a cool place. Yeah,
just south of Australia, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
Yeah, I think the Sea Shepherds go there a lot to go to port before they do stuff down in the Antarctic.
What app do you use for DJI drone? So it's called DJI Fly.
You can also
show you all the restricted airspaces. So you get a map, and it will show in blue and red the places where you can't fly. So let me just get an example up.
Well, the thing is, the DJI Go 4 app will show you that restricted airspace stuff as well, but it just doesn't tell you what it is. It just shows you, like, oh, here we go. Daddy long legs. Hang on a minute.
So that is like Heathrow, you can see. So you get like you get the red bit, which is a complete no-no, and then you get the blue bit, which is also restricted, and then you have like outer perimeters, and then the furthest outmost perimeter is like a height restriction. So I think it's like, I don't know, 100 foot or something. So you can do 400 foot maximum. See, I don't, because I think it's different in the States, but I'm pretty sure in the States you can fly 400, because their limit's 400 foot, but you can fly 400 foot above anything you are, but I don't think that applies here.
Well, it does for mountains and
just not man-made things.
I'm not sure about that actually, because I mean, you know, if you were on top of a skyscraper, then you're going to take off plus 400. So I think it does apply. But I'm not sure how much the drop-off is at the sides, because that isn't specified. You know, like how far away from.
Because it depends. Thing, you know? Yeah, because planes obviously climb at different rates, don't they? Helicopters climb at different rates, so it's a bit of a grey area. Because we took off from the top of Five Ways, and that's 250 feet high, and the limit's 400.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the rules are there as a good guideline. You have to use common sense when you're applying it, because otherwise you just wouldn't be able to fly. You know, I mean, a lot of things are just sort of wouldn't be worth it. The software, there's different software is good in different countries. Now in the UK, we've got the NATS, which is the National Air Traffic Service. They're the control towers.
They're Swansea, aren't they?
No.
They're based in Swansea, aren't they? NATS? Yeah, I think their headquarters is in Swansea. Swanage, sorry, that's the one.
Yeah. Near Southampton.
Mm.
I've actually been to their headquarters, and believe it or not, most of the air traffic control for the UK is done from there. Even though the airport might be in Scotland, the air traffic controller for that Scottish airport is in London, or Swanage. You know, it used to be at Gatwick, and that's where it was all based at Gatwick, and then it moved to Swanage, and there's a backup place which they don't like talking about. But
Swanwick, isn't it?
Swanwick, yeah. Sorry, it's not Swanage. Swanwick.
Yeah, that's where that school was. We went, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah, Swanage is the school. Yeah, you're right. It's Swanwick. And I've been there, and it's amazing, you know, as a place to look at, and all the screens and all the controllers and whatnot. But yeah, it's hard to get your head around the fact that even though the airport is in Scotland, the guy looking at the screen and controlling it is based, you know, near Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they? I guess they communicate with the military as well, Royal Air Force, because they have all their air traffic controllers in that nuclear bunker, don't they?
Well, the emergency controllers are there in Swanwick as well. So 121.5 is the danger frequency or emergency frequency. So that is controlled from Swanwick as well, and they actually have the military are there for that. And the military, well, they don't. They always say they don't do very much because they're just sitting around. It's like firemen that never have a job to do. You know, it's like there's never an emergency. Most emergencies take place on the frequency that you're flying on. So you report the emergency and that's it. The only time anybody ever use the actual emergency frequency is if they haven't got a bloody clue what they're doing, you know, and they're lost. And then they tune in and they go, I'm lost. And they go, well, you know, turn left, turn right. And they do this business where they say, turn right to this degree and then turn left to this degree. And they look at all the people on the map and they go, that's him, he's there, right? Okay, you know, and they pinpoint you like that, you know. So but yeah, the military have got their own bunkers, you know, in various places, and
I can't remember where it is. I'd watched quite an interesting documentary about the quick reaction alert, QRA, where they have two typhoons on standby. I think it's Lossiemouth and can't remember the other one.
Yeah, well, they've got Strike Command, which is at it's down the road from that girls' school bunker I went to at High Wycombe. Strike Command is High Wycombe, so they've got their eyes on whatever's in the skies there. But I think Northolt is the command and control for the Army, Air Force, and Navy. It's kind of all kind of piled in there, but I think RAF more so. They've got like a bigger contingent at Northolt. But
I want to say Bryce Norton, but I think that's more logistical airport, that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Coningsby. Coningsby and Lossiemouth, that's the two. That's where the QRAs are based. So they have two typhoons at each.
Yeah.
They send up, and then when those two go, they send in two more, get refueled, and ready to go. And they're the ones that go and do the intercepts over the channel, I guess, most commonly.
Sure.
You get a lot of those Russian ones, don't you?
I mean, Strike Command, you know, is probably where a lot of it goes on. I mean, it used to be that there were individual radar stations all around the UK, and they were all linked up by a telephone. That was the rotor bunker system.
Yeah.
So rotor bunkers were radar stations, and they would all, you know, they even intercepted UFOs and sent out aircraft to intercept UFOs. And Corsham, which was then investigating UFOs, actually had its own incident where its own radar station had to scramble aircraft to intercept UFOs. And they were also the guys that were doing the investigation on it as well, because they were the investigators. So, yeah. But,
I mean, I guess they have to intercept UFOs, don't they? Because you don't know if it's a danger to national security.
Yeah.
And I guess half of the time they never actually find out what it is.
Well, that's it. I mean, you know, you've got an unknown blip at set speed or whatever, you know, heading out in a direction, and it should have a transponder on it. Unless it's military, because military, you know, they turn off their transponders, but then they know who they are. So if air traffic controllers are going, who's this, you know, the military will go, you know, old boy, you know, like that, and they'll be like, okay, sir, you know, and then nothing more is said. But even the military normally have their transponders turned on. But I have seen them over Salisbury Plain. They practice without lights on, and they fly aircraft without lights on. And sometimes they've got infrared strobes on, so you can't see them with your naked eye. But if you've got a night vision goggle, you can see that they are actually quite brightly strobing, but in the infrared spectrum.
How powerful would those infrared lights be on the aircraft then, to be picked up on the ground?
Well, the same sort of brightness as a normal strobe. but just not in the visible spectrum. Yeah. I mean, I've seen like 20 Hercules go over nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail, and only the one at the front had his strobes on, and all the others were dark. So, yeah.
I don't think it was Heathrow, was it? I think it was Gatwick a few years ago.
Gatwick, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Gatwick. But, I mean, they're in... Yeah, I guess they're not really enforced. Like Matt said, it's just usually common sense. And I mean, if you're doing dumb stuff like that for near an airport, then they're going to come down on you like a ton of bricks, aren't they? But, yeah. I mean... That incident back then, it was all quite new because it hadn't happened before. But I think now they've got the technology to, track it and deal with it.
Well, they had the technology. It was being trialled at Southend Airport. So they were sort of looking into, anybody who takes off, instantaneously it shows them where that drone is. And they can pretty much work out where the signal for the transmitter is as well.
Oh, really?
And if you're inside airspace of Southend Airport and you were not known to them, they could instantaneously call the police and get them to where you were. So before you'd even landed your drone, they'd probably be at where you were. But of course, that was just at Southend Airport. So when this stuff happened at Gatwick, they really weren't prepared. And then they said, we brought in all this kind of this technology and stuff to kind of fight it and all that. I mean, ultimately what they had was jamming equipment that was going to jam the frequencies so that anything that was being flown wouldn't be able to be communicated with, which if it was a DJI drone, if it lost communications, it would go home, but they've got GPS jamming as well. But I don't think they would say that. Yeah. They wouldn't want to use that because of the aircraft trying to land,
Well, yeah, it would just fall out of the sky, wouldn't it?
Well, no. I mean, if you haven't got a GPS lock, it's going to
use its onboard sensors.
It's going to stay where it is because it doesn't know where to go. So it's just going to stay where it is until the battery dies.
But you say that if you've got window, it's going to get blown away because there's no GPS. It must land on using accelerometers and the onboard sensors.
Yeah, well, you're correct. If you jam the GPS, then it doesn't know. It doesn't know where it is, and if the wind is blowing, it will blow with the wind.
Because it's like when you hover your drone in front of you and you physically grab it and try and walk with it, as soon as you let go, it's going to want to just fly back where you grabbed it from.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, it depends what they were jamming, you see, because what frequency were they jamming? If they're jamming the normal Wi-Fi frequencies, 2.4 gigahertz, or 5.8, which is what most drones are using, that's not necessarily what the people who were flying those drones over Gatwick were using, because most drones wouldn't fly over an airport anyway. They'd be, prevented from doing it by the software. So I would have thought it was probably custom-made drones. And if it's custom-made drones, they're probably using custom frequencies. And if they've got that, then it's going to be much harder to jam. So... yeah,
I thought the 5 gigahertz and upwards was more powerful but shorter wavelength. So wouldn't that? No.
I mean, you get further with 2.4 gigahertz than you do with 5.8, but 5.8 doesn't go through solid objects so much. So rain and various atmospheric effects will affect it. Plus, it bounces more off objects, so that affects it slightly differently as well. So the 2.4 is definitely better, but because there's only 16 theoretical channels there that you're meant to be using, you run out of channels very quick. So once you get up in the air, the drone is seeing houses, cars, it's seeing everything that's using Wi-Fi, and it's having to hop and use the spaces between the transmissions of other things. And the reason that they say use 5.8 is because if you're in a place that's just jammed out with too many people using those frequencies, then you use the 5.8. But as far as signal wise goes, it's awful. You know, it doesn't go very far at all. I don't like it.
Just thinking about it, because in the DJI app, there's a setting you can use for the frequency. I can't see the options because you've got to connect to it.
Yeah, you can have auto or 2.4 or 5.8. You can,
Yeah,
but
that's
auto will auto select.
I just got it on auto. That's the best
Yeah.
thing.
Well, I stick it on 2.4 because I don't want it going to 5.8 because you'll lose the drone if it's on 5.8. You know, you lose contact with it. So I stick it on 2.4 manual and leave it on that. And you know, if it gives a few problems, that's fine because it'll come back. But if it switches to 5.8, it'll stay on 5.8 and it'll find it very hard to come back to 2.4.
What I've noticed when I fly, and I don't do this regularly, but when I fly long distances, for instance, out to sea, maybe where there's no interference, there's no like buildings blocking it, the signal will drop down to like 1 or 2 bars, and it will go red, and then 5 seconds later it will go back up to full signal. I wonder if that's something to do with the frequency switching, because there's no reason why it should just dip and then come back up. But the feed, the live video feed is fine.
I don't know. Not experienced that myself.
No, might be something to do with the frequency. But
I think I've been jammed a couple of times. In Bristol, it happened. I tried a couple of different drones, an Inspire and 2 different Mavics.
Purposely jammed.
When I took off, it basically went haywire. The GPS was saying I was over here, I was over there, I was over here, I was over there, and it was going bing, 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 like that, right? But it's once I got to a certain height, and then it was the picture was going off and on and off and on and off, and it was just like, so I had to get the drone back to me by listening for it. Because I was still in control of it, but I was actually, I couldn't see where it was, but I could hear it. And I basically sort of heard that it was going to the left. And I'm like, right, turn it a bit. And then I sort of like see if I could get it towards me. It's like, right, okay, oh, there it is overhead. And I managed to get it down. And I thought, shit, you know, that's really bad. So I tried another drone and I sent it up. Once it got up to a certain height, boop, 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 it was doing it again. Different drone.
Whereabouts in Bristol was that?
That was Clifton Suspension Bridge.
Because Ray, I did the exact same thing, didn't I? I flew up over and under the Clifton Suspension Bridge.
Yeah,
I think that's in my video. The one with Tinsk, I can't remember what it's called now. The document storage bunker, and I didn't have any issues.
No, you didn't.
It didn't do it. It didn't do it in the daytime. I've been there in the daytime. It never did it. It only did it.
This was it. Yeah, night for me. I flew there at night. I did a night flight, so I had to put the LED on underneath so I could at least see where it is.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Ray, I did lose connection. Come to think of it, and it returned home. Thinking about it. Yeah, no, I did.
Hi everyone.
Hello,
Tinsk.
mate.
How you doing,
Hello,
mate?
Mr. Tinsk.
My laptop decided it wanted to do updates just as I was about to come on. It was like Windows updates, everything shut down, and do mental stuff, and then just didn't
I
work.
had Windows updates before this, but joy with an SSD, it's over in seconds.
Yeah, I don't have one of them, and I need to get one.
I've got a bit of software that actually just stops all the updates now. It's like you run it, and it's just like it turns off every type of Microsoft update in the operating system. So it's like
Sounds
no
wonderful.
more crap.
Sounds
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah. Do you want me to find out what it's called?
Yeah, be good. The other thing it's done is it's taking all the color off my webcam because I got my blue lights on in the background like I normally have, and they're not blue.
It looks green and white.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's strange.
Interesting.
Very strange.
But yeah, SSD all the way, guys. I mean, Ray, your new one's SSD. From powering it on to logging in, it's like, what, 15, 20 seconds, if that?
Yeah. It's called Windows Update Blocker, and it's from Sordom Software. I'll send you the link now in the chat or whatever. But if you run this puppy, right? You can decide which sort of updates you want to block, or you can go through a few menus and you can say block of them all, you know. And it's like,
could you not equally just go in the Windows settings and turn off?
no, come on,
no.
Microsoft are not going to allow you to do that. No,
because they used to have options.
Microsoft
Didn't they?
would rather come round your house and slap you in the face than let you have that.
There used to be a setting, I swear, it said download updates automatically, but let me choose when to install them. Or was that not a thing?
No, that was Windows 7.
Oh, was it? Have they got rid of that?
It still does it with
Yeah, Windows 10 is like, we do what we want.
Right, cheekies. Yeah.
And then Windows 11 is, you can do what you want, but you just can't install it on your laptop because it doesn't work on anything unless we say it does.
Yeah.
Someone says spying. So this is interesting, right? So I don't know if anyone in the chat's had this, and you guys on the panel, but every time I open not only Edge but Chrome, I get a webcam request come up.
Yes.
And it's only because of my security software it alerts me, and Chrome is wanting to access my webcam, and I've got a webcam shutter, so I can, where is it? I've got a physical shutter, but I've also got the security software. But but it's like, why is it asking for that? Is it an add-on or
an add-on or a plug-in or something like that?
Might be something to do with Skype, or it just assumes you want to use some video conferencing. But yeah, got to be careful. Always cover your webcam if you're not using it. Even Mark Zuckerberg tapes his.
Yeah, Paul Robbins is saying you can just set your active hours. Nah, mate. Right, I've said I don't want updates, right? And then I say shut down my machine, and it says, do you want to shut down your machine and not do updates now? And you go, yes. It goes, I'm doing updates. I'm doing them. And it's like, so what part of no don't you understand then? It literally, there's nothing you can do to control your updates apart from wrench the whole lot out. And that little bit of software takes care of that really nicely.
You got to love Microsoft, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, they're like, we know best for you, sir, so we're going to do it whether you like it or not. And the thing is, that doesn't work for most people, because it's like, if I need to reboot really quickly because I need to get back on, so you've been cut off a live stream, your machine's crashed, you need to get back on, and it's like, update. No, I mean, like, it's like this whole business with Tesla cars, it's like you have to take it to them, they do all the work, you can't touch a thing, and they're updating in the background whether you like it or not. It's like, well, do I own this fucking car or don't I? Does it belong to me or does it belong to Tesla?
The weird thing is, right, when I bought my VW, like the Tiguan 4x4 thing, and when I bought that, I went to the dealership. And just as I was picking it up, just about to leave the dealership, the sales guy came out, sat in the car by the side of me, and he pulled out this little cardboard box, and he opened the cardboard box, and he pulled out this little, it's almost like a little, I don't know, like a dongle, basically. And he just went under the dash, and he just plugged it in under the dash and left it there. He said, oh, that's just so it speaks to us then, and we know everything that's going on with it. So basically, they got telemetry on the thing now. So they're just looking at everything as you're driving it, basically.
I'll just take the bloody thing back out.
Yeah, I could do. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably telling them, look, his engine management is going to need looking at anytime soon, or his brakes are on his way out, or whatever. So they know. So they just phone me up, man, and say, all right, your brakes are on the way out, Mr. Jones.
Do you know what gets me about engine management lights is you take it into a dealer or a Halfords or whatever, you say, oh, my engine warning light's on, and they just charge you for turning it off. They don't actually fix the root cause of it. They just charge you 60, 70 quid just to turn it off, and it's like, I could do that myself. Yeah. Why do I need to pay 70 quid for you to do it? And they don't diagnose the root cause and fix it, so it just comes on again like later on.
Is that when you go to the shop, is it? Into the Halford shop?
Yeah, the auto centres, so not the actual shop, but the auto centre ones, or ATS or whatever.
I had on my old car.
I didn't know that.
I had an engine management light come on. I'm like, what's this? It doesn't tell you what it is, does it? My brother's a mechanic anyway, so I took it down. He
Is it
went,
code?
well, yeah, he was going to do it. He goes, nah, you know what it was? It just needs to fill up the water bottle. The sensor on the water bottle told me that they needed some more water. Why couldn't he just tell you they wanted somewhere? So if I was like savvy, just gone in, someone gone in charge of 70 quid and gone, oh yeah, we'll get rid of that. Oh, maybe just top it up, possibly.
Well, it was like my wife's old car, and the battery went on it. And then when I got a new battery in it, the engine management light was on. Took it to a garage, and they said, "Oh, yeah, you're going to need this, this, and this done." Took it to a friend of mine. He plugged it in, turned it off. There was nothing wrong with the car.
That's exactly what I do. Right before I go for an MOT, and my engine management light's on, I just turn it off, because otherwise they just charge you 70 quid to turn it off, and it's like I can do that myself.
What was it? My mate keeps saying in the industry there's two like types of lights, isn't there? There's like a yellow light, which is like advisory, and there's like a red light, which is like you must do something.
Yeah, you get green, yellow, and red.
He was saying the yellow is known as ignore it because there's nothing wrong, and the red is like take it back so you can spend lots of money because there's nothing wrong. Yeah. So yeah. So you got to ignore it or take it back because there's nothing wrong. Yeah.
They've also changed the MOTs now. So before, if you had an engine light on, they'd still pass your car as long as it's working.
Yeah, they don't now, do they?
No, they don't now.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's why I turn it off before I take it.
Mate, ridiculous.
Well, this is the whole thing with like McDonald's, the milkshake machine and ice cream machine. The controversy there, which has been exposed now, somebody did a deep dive on it and sort of found out that there's one company is allowed to sell the milkshake and ice cream machines worldwide to franchises, and they have a screen on it which comes up with numbers, error numbers, and you call engineer. Right now, they don't know what it is, but they have to follow what they're told. Is like, well, call the engineer, and the engineer comes out and they'll ask 500 quid, please. And all it is like, you didn't clean it properly last time or something like that, or or it thinks you need like a new something or whatever. It's like some sort of like silly thing, but like the engineer just comes and just resets it and then says, you're all right, that's good to go then, and charge them 500 quid. And then like in a week's time, it's like another number comes up and it's like he comes along and he just resets it and 500 quid, please. And so this is the problem is that the franchises don't want to pay the money, because it's a lot of money. And there's a company has come along now and said, I will, this company offers this to franchises, but they're not allowed to use this because it breaks their contract with McDonald's as a franchise to use anyone else apart from the supplier, to do the work on the machine. So this other company is saying, well, you tell us what the code is and we'll tell you what it actually is. And it's like, just needed a longer cleaning cycle, just clean it again. So they could basically just reset it themselves and just carry on, And yeah, this company, the ice cream manufacturing company is trying to take this other company to court to say, you can't be providing information about our equipment. And they're like, well, stop charging 500 fucking quid then for, just to reset the bloody thing. So it's like there's this little war going on at the moment, and that's why quite often when you go there, the milkshakes are not working. It's because of this frigging company and their stupid code.
I always find that. Yeah, they're always out, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep.
That's the reason.
All the time.
And it's because it's just a cash cow because they've got the exclusive contract to supply for McDonald's. So, of course, they're not just going to come up with a thing saying, this is the error and read it out to you in English. It's like a number called technician. That's all it is just number called technician, So disgusting. And then they wonder why people just say, well, we're not having this, and they just throw it in the bin and they go and get another machine that's actually not causing a problem. And the thing is as well, that company, which makes it worse, that company has actually been called out because other companies like KFC, they use the same machines, but they wouldn't buy the one that they supplied to McDonald's because they said, we're not having the problems that McDonald's have had. So the company went, all right, then we'll sell you another machine, which actually does read out what's wrong, the actual error codes, and allows you to reset it yourself. So, because the McDonald's Corporation never demanded to have a machine that was actually going to be better for the franchises, they got this crappy machine where it just keeps on calling out the engineer all the time. Yeah. But all the others, like KFCs and Subways, they've got machines which actually read out the proper things. So yeah, so that company's well aware what they're doing. They know full well what they're doing, and they're loving it because it's just money.
I get it. They're loving it.
Yeah,
Bet they are. Someone, here's a good one. Get in your car, error message. I'm guessing the way to reboot an electric car is just turn it off and on again. Because they don't have keys, do they? Simple as that, really.
You've got
the
to
manufacturer send
the batteries.
Manufacturer just send a kill message, won't it, and just kill you on the side of the road.
That's the thing. These electric cars, because I assume they've all got internet connectivity, and they probably log diagnostic stuff like drones, I guess. So presumably it logs all your telemetry. So you take it to a dealer, they can see how you've been driving it and stuff. I bet they do. I bet they log that sort of stuff.
Well, the thing is, all cars with engine management, the logs go back. So when they go in, they can see what the error messages were on your logs. So they can say, oh, look, that's last time he had this sort of error message. The time before that, he had this error message. And it gives the time, the date, and everything. So they've always been able to do that. But, yeah, some cars have got live telemetry, got like Teslas going back to headquarters, and they could kill. But BMWs do that. They can kill a BMW if it's been stolen. They can send a command. Audis, BMWs, anything that's got some sort of like clever system. So the more money you spend on the car, the more likely it is that they could turn around and send software across the airwaves, so that one morning you get up and suddenly your car's running like a piece of shit, and you
what
go, "What's that?"
Use to send that? What do they use? Is it like RDS?
Mobile.
Or like
mobile. Your phone, your car has got a secret mobile phone in it that you don't know about. A lot of these cars, yeah,
like an eSIM,
and, yeah, and it's basically talking back to home, so it can get updates and things like that. And it saves you having to bring it into the dealership to get updates. But you can also
a bit like is it ACAS, something like that on the plane that sends the telemetry stuff down?
TCAS, yeah.
That's what I reckon. That dongle thing was it plugged in my car.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, if they don't tell you that your car's got this, and they could be spying on you, they can also turn your car off without your knowledge. They can actually disable your car, as you say, without you agreeing to that. And, because, some people, they say, well, it's a good thing, because if my car gets stolen, I ring BMW and say, identify myself and say my car, and they'll say, well, yeah, we know where it is. We can see it driving down the road. What should we do? And they go, well, disable it. So there's protocols for how they could disable it, because they can't disable a car when it's driving, but when it comes to rest at like the traffic lights, they can disable it then because it's safe to do so. But they do this. This happens. Like, they do actually knock people's cars off, and it's like, but did you even know that your car had that shit in it?
I bet your mates in MI5 could switch your car off if they wanted to, Matt.
I don't think mine's advanced enough.
You'd be surprised.
That's the thing, right? Because all these modern cars now, like Teslas and all these BMWs, they're all literally connected, aren't they? I just feel like we're losing control over our cars, where if you wind back 20, 30 years and just got like a, I don't know, Mark 1 Fiesta or something, it's literally just a car. There's none of this fancy electric stuff in there. And I think we're sort of not really in control of our cars anymore.
No.
Or in the near future anyway.
Well, Tesla completely drives itself, can't it? I think.
Yeah.
Well, their argument for why they need to have that is because it's sending data back to Tesla continuously about your driving habits, and the system is learning from that. So they're using it for machine learning, so that they can kind of learn how to automatically drive better, So they've got a reason for it. It's understandable why, because they're using every single driver as a model to learn from for the future of this auto driving system that they're developing. But with like BMW and things like that, it's like, well, not so much so, because there is no auto driving system. They just want to actually monitor your car. They just want to be like, spying on your car.
Big brother.
And I mean, if you went in and said, "Can I have this turned off, please?" I wonder whether they would actually be able to just turn it off.
It's probably like the traction control. There's no actual off button. It's half off.
Yeah. So, I mean, one way to do it would be you can GPS jam, which is illegal, but you can put a GPS jammer in a vehicle to kind of not let your employers know where you are, because they often have tracking devices in cars. But this is a tracking device from the manufacturer of the car.
So they can embed it, can't they?
Yeah, but some people put GPS jammers so that their employer can't tell where they're driving, and what speed they're driving. So that's known of. But you could put a mobile phone jammer in there so that it couldn't talk on the mobile phone network. But again, it would then jam your mobile network use in the car as well, so you wouldn't be able to receive calls and things. But
no.
There are ways to kind of get rid of this stuff. You might have to go into a box into the bonnet and actually just literally start cutting a few pins to the device. And you'll probably spot it. It'll have a SIM card in it as well. You'll know where it is. If you get into the right box, it'll have a SIM card in it, and it'll have a little circuit board and a little antenna, and that's it. That's the bastard you have to get rid of.
Yeah. It's definitely illegal to have these radar jammers for the police speed guns, because you get quite a hefty fine if you get caught with them.
Yeah, somebody got done with them the other day, didn't they? It was on the news or something.
Because I think they're designed, if it detects a signal, it jams it and it alerts the driver, and then it switches itself off. Because obviously it's going to arouse suspicion if it keeps jamming it.
Yeah.
So the policeman would just think, "Oh, failed attempt to try again," sort of thing. But by then, hopefully, you've slowed down.
The fact that the police have got sneaky radar cameras that they never asked the public whether or not we wanted them, and they brought them in like motorway
what are you
cameras.
giggling about?
Nothing.
They never asked anybody if they wanted this shit. But of course, if you go and jam the shit that they never told you that they had, oh no, you can't jam the shit that we never told you we had. And it's like, all right. So yeah, I'm all for screwing up your number plates and stuff so that cameras can't see them. And the police do it themselves, because police officers in New York were caught all driving around with dimmed number plates, so you couldn't see them. And they did a news report.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And it's like they were all doing it. So the police themselves don't like to be caught with the shit they're doing to everybody else. They're catching you with these radar cameras and gantry cameras. What do they call them? Motorway.
Police speed cameras.
Average speed cameras. All this sort of stuff. And the police themselves are doing things to stop themselves being caught with these systems. It's because nobody asked for it.
What are you building?
No, I'm not building. I'm just gluing my lens back onto my DJI Pocket, because it's fallen off a couple of times when I was with Dan on the Botel, I lost it there. And I lost it twice, and I managed to find it twice, and I was so lucky, but I glue it on because it's magnetic, and you just tap it, or if you're walking around, you bump it, and it's boom, the lens is on the floor, but the lens nearly went in the sea. That was it. So,
dang.
Yeah. So I glue it on.
I was going to say these speed. Back to this point, these ones on the motorway, I swear they just put them on for no reason. So they just put it for 60 for no reason.
Yeah.
And they say it eases congestion, but I think that is the cause of it.
If you've ever been on the M5, they do that all the time, and the traffic around near where I am, it's always ridiculous because they put
They do it down on the M4 into Cardiff. It's all 50 for no
Newport
reason that I can see.
Yeah. Newport, yeah. Oh God.
I mean, it cuts emissions. Okay, that's the only good thing about it. But what if you've got an electric car? Do you still have to stick to that?
Yeah.
It's rubbish.
The thing is, I noticed it the other day. There was tailbacks for miles on the M5 near us, and we just drove and drove. And next thing, he came past one of those signs that that were lit up 50 miles an hour. As soon as he passed that, the road was clear. So everyone was just slowing down when they saw that, and it was causing miles tailback.
Yeah.
As soon as he passed, it was fine. Till the next one.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing a live stream on the way back from London with Ray, I think, and one of the cameras went off. It flashed like 2 or 3 times. I don't know if you remember that, Ray.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I know which
I
one.
thought it was me. I had to go back and look at my dash cam footage.
It was the guy in front of you, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. But yeah, reviewing the footage on the camera, yeah, it was the guy in front. But they must make a mint.
Nobody asked for these cameras, and they just got rammed. Like, here you are, you're having this. It's like motorway speed cameras, motorway average speed cameras, ANPR cameras. Like, where did all this shit just come from? We've never agreed to be spied on like this. I mean, nobody's agreed to this. And I think people need to get together and actually start sort of, standing up and saying, all these cameras, you can, you stuck them up really quickly. You can fucking pull them down even quicker.
Yeah. Just a money-making machine.
They're on about... The people have sent a petition in to get the hard shoulders back on the smart motorways.
At the end of the day, right, the infrastructure is not there to have 5 lanes, 4 running lanes and a hard shoulder. That's why they're doing it. And they have these refuge areas every, half mile?
I know, but I mean, it's all designed, it's all based on the fact that the electronics knows when you've stopped, so it'll shut
But that's
that lane
if they
down.
have the radar. Not all of them have the radar system.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about because they're not from the UK, what they've done is we have 3 lanes and an emergency lane. What they've done is they've turned that into that emergency lane now. They've said they're turning it into a road lane. Yeah. And in order to allow that to happen, they've got electronics that know whether anybody's stopped. And if somebody's stopped in that lane, then they'll shut that lane down and signs will come up to tell you that, you shouldn't be using that lane. But the thing is, I've seen people broken down in that lane and there's no signs. And this is a 4 lane, because they've taken away that lane now and it doesn't work. And people have been saying it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And not only that, Matt, but when it does work, I know I've seen this, you still get idiots that drive in the hard shoulder that says it's closed. So the technology's there when it works, but you can't change idiots on the road, basically.
Kid is saying the Raven Society, yes, which is from Pennyworth. The Raven Society.
But yeah, personally, I think these hard shoulders they're not safe at all. Because I've seen people broken down.
Yeah, I was going to say I passed someone on the motorway yesterday, and he'd obviously had a puncture, flat tire, and he was just laying in a hard shoulder under the car doing the tire. I thought, you're in mental. No way.
Glad you said it.
Well, it used to be fairly safe to do when you knew it was an emergency lane because you knew that there wouldn't be anybody coming down that lane. But now that it's like this, do you know if it's a lane or if it's not a lane? Do you know? It's like now that this is where the problems are going to come, and I think they've spent all this money, haven't they? I mean, they've been spending like 5 years putting these lanes, getting all this ready for digital roads and electronic driving and driverless cars and all this other stuff, right? And I reckon it's going to be a spectacular failure, and they're going to go, oh, actually, we need to have emergency lanes back, and
it's going to cost a fortune though to
cars aren't driving automatically like we thought they were, and it's not going to work out. That's what I'm thinking. It's not going to work out.
Well, the smart motorway at the moment, they're now a year behind where they're supposed to be because they're supposed to be finished already.
Well, the thing is, Ray, they're not implementing any more unless they've got that radar system which detects every, I think, 500 yards or whatever it is if there's a car broken down. So they're not building them anymore unless they've got that radar fitted, because that's what the issue is. But even then, people still drive in the hard shoulder if it's closed.
Yeah.
And what about in 10, 20 years' time, when there's more cars on the road? You're going to need a new lane anyway.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is because of the infrastructure, you think all the bridges, they're going to have to knock the pillars down, widen them. Bridges, they're going to have to widen those. It's all planning permission.
But
I just don't think it'll ever happen.
Well, to say that, Steve, the bridge near, where is it? Holmesley. That's being taken away and replaced.
Yeah, but that road there is 2 lanes, and it's always going to be 2 lanes. But what I'm saying is, on a motorway, sometimes the lanes go over a bridge. If you're going to add a new lane in on the side, you've got to widen that whole bridge.
It's true.
I was driving on the M25. It was effectively 5 lanes, right? And where were all the cars? In the right-hand lanes. And where was all the gaps? On the left, which meant that you could overtake people in the wrong lane, like, undertaking people. But where was most of the cars? The more cars that were on the right. So the more you go to the right, the more the cars were there. It's frigging insanity. It's absolute insanity on the roads these days, right? I mean, the whole concept of, if you're not overtaking, pull into the left. Use the left lanes. Overtaking lane is for overtaking only, then pull in. People just have got no concept of this, and I think that before they start going on about, oh, you were speeding, they should have a 24/7 book every bastard on the road that is hogging in the right lanes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Screw all this speed cameras and average speed cameras. We need to solve the problem that people don't drive correctly in this country. Right. They're all hogging in the right. Yeah, yeah. They don't drive correctly. They're not doing what they were taught how to do, which is get over to the left.
No, because they're mainly on their bloody phones at the moment, or behind the wheel.
Yeah. I mean, you got the 4 lanes, right? Well, a lorry then should be in the outer lane. Yeah. No, they're in lane 2 or 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I mean, there's something wrong with this situation. People have got their heads completely wrong, on driving. And I say that speed is not the problem. It's idiotic driving is the problem.
Yeah.
The thing is, if the motorway is relatively clear, but you've got somebody sitting in the middle lane and you're coming faster and you're in the slow lane, you literally got to go out 3 lanes, pass them, and then go back in. It's stupid the way they do it. Because obviously you're not allowed to take them on the left, but
you're not supposed to undertake people. You're not supposed to undertake people. It's illegal. But I mean, and you look at these people, and it's just like, woman driver, grandma, or just blokes who sort of look at you you go past them, and it's like I always pull out tight and then pull in front of them tight. It's like just to sort of say get
over.
Get over, and they don't. They're not interested. They're not interested at all. In fact, sometimes people, if you sort of flash them like that, right? They sort of
got a clue.
They pretend like they're going to, and then they go no, because they're taking the piss out of you. They're like, I'm gonna, no, I'm not. And it's like,
what annoys me is
what is wrong with these people?
Is when you flash them, they move over, you go past, and then they just go back in the middle lane.
Back in.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like that bloke on the way to London, wasn't it?
It's like those old pensioners,
that's
those grannies have seen the Secret Vault channel, mate, and they know your car. That's what it is. And they're thinking, "No, we'll have him. We'll stay slow."
Yeah, so this is spot on. Speeding, it's idiot drivers.
Yeah,
because when you're speeding, at least you're in control.
To be honest, on the motorway, the slower cars are more dangerous.
It's like your favourite advert, Steve. If you hit me at 40, I'll die. But if you hit me at 30...
Yeah, do you remember that commercial a few years ago? The girl got hit by that car and she got thrown up by that tree, and her bones and stuff were dislocated, and they replayed it in reverse, and it showed her sort of coming back in normal shape. Does anyone remember that?
I remember that advert. Yeah.
And it was, and then she was like, "Hit me at 40. This is what happens." And then she's saying, "Hit me at 30. There's
so you want me
a something % chance I'll live." So basically, what she's saying is, "Don't hit me at all. Hit me at 30."
And I'm thinking, like, with a face like that, I'll hit you at
That's
90, love. Yeah.
I'm going to shoot off now, guys.
I'll do with a face like that. I'll do a
Alright,
Night Rider and do 150,
Yeah.
150 on you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Nick.
Take care,
See you later,
everyone.
Nick.
Yeah,
cheers, mate.
bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the middle lane people, and because they even if you do undertake them, they like flash at you or do the
they
W
get
sign
pussy,
at you, and it's like, why have I undertaken you?
I've undertaken you because you shouldn't be where you are, and they don't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Is this stuff falling all the time?
In the you've been to the States, Steve. You've driven over there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Over there, you go driving the height on the their equivalent of the motorway. I don't know what they call it. Highway.
Freeway.
And say freeway.
Interstate.
They've got like 5
Interstate.
lanes, haven't they, or 6 lanes, something like that. And you can go in any lane. You can undertake.
They don't have.
overtake.
They don't have
Doesn't
lane
matter.
discipline in the States.
No, you can go in any lane.
The only contribution to civilization on the road is ride on red. So if it's clear and you can just turn right at
You
red
can go
light,
in, yeah.
we need to do that here, really.
That's really good. That's the best thing over there.
Yeah.
The
But
other thing was when I was over there, they didn't have any roundabouts over there as well. I don't know if they got them now, but they didn't have then.
I've seen
Only
one.
in Vegas, I think. Vegas has got.
There's one in California. There's one in
I tell
Cali,
you,
yeah.
driving across Europe, right? French shitheads, right? I mean, like Netherlands, utter shitheads. Yeah, Germans, fine. Yeah, they pull over. They come back. You know, they don't. And lorries are not allowed in any other lane than lane 1. Full stop. Right, because all this bullshit of like a lorry like literally swerving out in front of you when you're just about to pass, like all right, and then doing 0.001 mile an hour acceleration.
Oh yeah.
It takes him 5 minutes to get past another lorry because he's a speed demon. He needs to speed past that other lorry. Right. Well, why don't we adopt what the Germans do and just say lorries left lane, come out of that lane, ticket. Yeah.
Because I'm
Because
moaning
they're
even more than
arseholes.
you do.
Lorries
when
are
they-
arseholes.
When they pull out like that, where they don't even pull out gently, they just swing out. They're out. That really annoying. That is. It does my head in.
Mm. And then they
I got
just
taken
want
out
to
by one. I got taken out by one about 10 years ago. I was on the M4 near. Do you know the stretch just before you get to Port Talbot? There's a long stretch there with the wind
That's the 50 zone.
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
it? Up there.
I was going down that one late at night, and a lorry was in the middle lane. I was in the fast lane, and I don't know if he fell asleep or something, but he took me out more or less. I had to swerve him, and I went into the central reservation.
Damn.
They just don't care. There was nobody else on the road who was dead, but I was nearly dead.
I've seen some lorries like literally go in and out of the like lanes, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Is the guy falling asleep or something? And I've gone past them and I beeped them and flashed them. I was like, wake up, like, you know, what the fuck is just swerving? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I was on the motorway, right? And there was an 18-wheeler in the fast lane, and guess where he was from? France. It's like, mate, you can't be in the fast lane, and he just stayed in it for ages.
It was like that one on the way to Wales that you shouted at him to get off his bloody phone. He didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I've said about this on previous streams when we went up to what's it called, Snowdonia. We're in traffic and Ray's driving on passenger, and there's lorry drivers on their phones, and I sort of shouted up. I was like, "Oh, get off your phone!" And he like looks at me to say, "Yeah." It's like, mate, you can't do that. It's like it's a killing machine as it is a lorry. Don't add to it.
I was coming along a road and it was 50, right? It was temporary 50. And I was coming down the right-hand lane and a guy pulled out in front of me like that to stop me going past faster than 50 because I was probably doing about 60, 70, something like that, right? So I was like, and he pulled out in front of me like that, right? And then went like this. Like five. So I fucking undertook him like that, right? And then he went to swerve that way as well. So I fucking went right round him like that. And then I got in front of him and he was flashing me. So I fucking slowed him down like that. So like, what? And he's like, fine. But it's like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It's like, just mind your own fucking business. Mind your own fucking business. And they do it a lot. It happens a lot when there's temporary speed restrictions. People pull out into the right-hand lane and do 50. So everyone's doing 50 so nobody can get past.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Mm. People are just, they literally think they're little police, you know, and sort of like, I will show people what to do on the road. I will make them do what I want them to do. I've had people doing that to me, like fucking go to overtake them and they swerve out and shit like that. I'll put their foot down, you know.
They always do that.
They're doing 50, but you got to overtake them on a 60, 70 mile an hour road. Yeah, you got to overtake them, and suddenly they're speeding up. Like, all right, so it's like now you can't get back in because of that shit. So I pulled up in front of somebody like that, right, and slowed down, and they fucking, and this bloke was fucking waving his arms like that, so he put it in fucking reverse, and it fucking went bang and fucking banged into the fucking like that, right, and it's like fuck you, and just drove off.
Yeah.
It's like fucking here you go. You want to be fucking clever? Have some of that.
Yeah, they're bloody annoying, aren't they?
Yeah. Because they're full of it, you know, and they're inside their little tank where nobody can get to them. But it's like, well, what if I drive you off the fucking road and get out and fucking drag you out of the fucking car? You're not going to be very fucking happy, are you? So don't be fucking pissing people off.
Yeah.
And it has happened. I have literally had fist fights on the side of the road, and I have been rammed off the road by people, and I have rammed people off the road. So, you know, it's like, yeah, I am Mr. fucking road rage.
I mean,
you do not want to meet me. You do not want to meet me on the road because I'm a nice person on the road. If you fuck me up, I'll fuck you up back.
I'll just remember to tailgate you next time we're driving somewhere.
You box you in.
Flash my lights at you.
Yeah, boxing.
The thing is, I get out the way. If you're behind me and you want to go, I will pull in. I'll let you go. But I expect to be treated in the same way. It's like if I get somebody who won't let me go past, he's like, no, you're not passing me. And it's like, well, I fucking will. And I will show you the hard way that if you like your car, don't be screwing with me. Because you are not going to have much of a car left if you're not fucking careful. Yeah.
I want to print out the bits of the highway code that explains how to use a roundabout as well, because the fucking dickheads who don't know how to use roundabouts. The lady.
Women.
Give way to the right.
Women.
No,
sorry.
we can't say that. We can't say that.
No. You can't say that. I can. They pull up to a roundabout where you can see for literally 100 miles in that direction, 100 miles in that fucking direction, and they stop.
There was one that did that the other day to me. I have to say though, in fairness, BMW drivers do it as well. They just don't care about lanes. No such thing.
Have you noticed? They're all most BMW drivers they always have caps on, or they have their hoodie up.
It's like it's sunny in the car.
It's because they keep the drugs under there, isn't it?
I don't know if
and they like driving
free with the
like,
car when you buy it or not. I don't know.
They like driving with like two fingers, where they're like arm rested, like driving like with two fingers and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And they have their seat reclined, so they're actually sat in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And only one hand on the wheel, the other one's always on the gear stick, even if they got an automatic. And
actually, you putting your hand up like that, they drive sometimes with this weird hand position, like as if they're like this. Like they're driving like that.
I've seen people do that.
Well, what's that about? It's like women, they have this thing. They have this thing of like putting the seat up really straight and sitting close to the wheel, so they're driving like this with the fucking wheel against their tits, and it's like that. But it's like because they put the seat so far forward and so up straight, they're like this, driving like that.
Like, I never get.
I'm staying out of this one.
Whenever they got nice cars, you know, they drive in Mercedes and things like that. I think, Jesus, you spent an extra $3,000 having beautiful leather in that Mercedes. He's not even using the seat. Sit back, you stupid cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a good point. They don't use their turn signals, do they?
Well, no, because they're an optional extra.
They do come. Yeah, they are extra on BMWs, aren't they? They don't come standard.
It's the same with van drivers. They don't give a fuck either.
You can, to be fair
worst
to
ones on
van
mobiles.
drivers, right? You can always guarantee they're not going to slow you down because they always rag the hell out of the van and they want to get to A to B quickly. So you can always rely you're not going to get stuck behind the van.
They are the worst
that's
ones for
a good
mobile
thing.
phones, though. They don't
But
care
when
about
it
Oh
comes to
yeah,
around-
DPD are
When
the
it comes to
worst.
a roundabout and not stop, I had one this morning. You get to the roundabout, you look across. Right, you're going to go across. It's fine. And this drop, you just go straight across.
No, I don't think they do, Ducks.
Oh mate, just need a slap.
They think they own the road, but they don't.
Just think how shit that guy feels that he's in charge of fitting indicators to the BMWs in the factory. That's a totally meaningless job, isn't it?
It's soulless job, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They are nice cars. They're built well like any other German car, but I just don't see the big deal with them. They don't look particularly nice, especially the new ones. They got massive like big teeth on the front. That's just my opinion anyway. But
well, to drive a 1 Series, you need to
Not
have some tracksuit bottoms from bloody Sports Direct and a cap on. So,
well, that's what I was saying. Maybe the cap comes with the car when you buy it,
Maybe.
because they all have caps on, don't they? Do you remember that when we drove down to Plymouth, Ray? That BMW driver was trying to race us, and he was in the fast lane, and he wouldn't move over.
yeah. And you left him in the dust. Yeah.
I was just he was thinking, oh, I'm in a BMW, I can beat you. It's like, no, mate. So he had to concede and move over in the end.
It was one of those, right? He had a BMW, like it must have been like a V8 thing or something, like 4 exhausts in the back of it, right? And he was flying up the motorway, ramming straight up somebody's arse in the fast lane, getting them to move. As soon as they'd move over, he'd overtake them. Then he'd go in the other lane, slow down until he'd get behind them again. And he'd just doing that for miles and miles and miles, just trying to wind people up. Nothing to do. Bored.
Wow, try an Audi TT versus a Ford. That could be fun.
Thing is, an Audi TT is a hairdresser's car. No
Yeah,
offense to any guy that's got one.
Well, I'm on about that bloke on the way to London.
Oh yeah, he was that was funny.
We're going in the 50-mile-an-hour bit, and we were in the fast lane. This guy goes, so I move out of the way. He gets in front of me, slows down,
and then he comes up beside us, winds the window down, and I was passenger, and he was like, "Oh, pull over at the next junction. We'll have a chat." And I'm thinking, why? Why would we want to have a chat with you?
And the last thing he saw after so many miles of us annoying him was Steve blowing a kiss at him as he was so rage, right? And it was a bit of passive aggressive. So as he went down the slit road like that, I just blew him a kiss, and I knew that would really trigger him. And knowing that's the last thing he saw, and he couldn't do anything about it, he would have been livid.
You're lucky he didn't come back on the motorway the other side of the roundabout.
we would have been off.
We were
so
hoping that it wasn't going to happen, and I was like, oh no, here we go. But it's just for miles he's been a complete dick. It was like, well, you know.
Yeah, blowing him a kiss always works wonders.
I had metallic green BMW. It was like something that must have cost $100,000 or something like that. And I was going down to Plymouth, and I was driving along like 70, 80, something like that. And he sort of came up beside me, and then like a car was coming up in front of me, so I had to like slow down, because I was going to slow down and pull in behind him, and he slowed down, and I was like, oh shit! So then he held me there. And it was like, fuck, what's he doing? Like, it's like he's now doing the same speed as I'm doing. And it's like, shit. So I like slowed down again to go behind him. And he slowed down again. So he's like doing about 50 now. It's like, does he not want me to come out? And it's like, so anyway, this car in front of me pulled out. It pulled out of the way. So now, I started speeding up, and he sped up, and he was keeping beside me in the overtaking lane. And no matter what I did, he was like, you're not coming out. And it's like, eventually, like, all right, I sort of got in behind him, and then he did about 100 miles an hour. So it's like, then later on, I caught up with him, and he was doing like 70. And when I went to go past him, he went like back up to 90 and out into the overtaking lane in front of me, and then slowed down again. I was like, what is all this? What have I done to this guy? I've done nothing to this guy. Anyway, So at an opportunity, I got to go like that, and I sort of blasted past him. He got pissed off, and he undertook me and came in front of me like that, right? And then I thought, well, fuck this. I've had a fucking guts full of this. So I pulled back into the inner lane, and he was doing his fucking business again, like that, right? And I thought, right. So I fucking sped up, and I just fucking pushed him out into the fucking central reservation. Not physically, but I just I'm coming out. Like, all right. So he fucking had to slam the brakes on. He was like, beep, lights, right? He had a dash cam, and he put that through to the police. Yeah. Damn. I fucking tore it up. I'm like, I'm not having any of that, right? He's causing fucking shit on the road so he could have some footage to send to the fucking police. Yeah.
Is that right?
Causing shit. Yeah.
I think it is now. Yeah, they're desperate, aren't they?
Well, at the moment,
normally
it's not that. It's normally a longer course than that, but
yeah, and they've released another 30,000 tests or something.
Don't know.
It's all overpay though, as always.
Matt, that's what I was going to ask you. Obviously, you tow a boat, don't you? Do you need any sort of additional tests or anything to be able to? Because you've got to be able to reverse the trailer, haven't you? Driving forward is fine.
If you pass your test before 1997, you automatically get the towing license part. If you're after 97, you've got to take extra tests or something, haven't you?
I think so.
Yeah,
if you look at your license, it'll be different to mine. If you pass that.
Ours is plastic.
Somebody is saying anyone can tow without training from the 20th. Steve, Mick Spanner said it. Don't know what that means.
I think, Barry's just sent me something.
Yeah, they're changing the.
All right, they've changed it this week, haven't they? Yeah, I did hear something about that, actually, thinking about it. That's what it used to be, though. The licenses were different.
Yeah, when I did mine, you could up to 7.5 ton. But now, if it was like Tinks was saying, was it 1991? You'd have to take a separate test to drive anything up to a 7.5 ton. You'd have to take a test.
Yeah, it was also a special thing just for trailers and caravans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to do it without taking a test. But as somebody just said on there, now they've just changed it, I think, actually.
We were overtaken by a lorry driver with a TV on in the cab and a newspaper on the wheel. How the hell can he drive like that? Yeah.
That's the thing, because they're up high, they think they can't get caught, but the police drive around in these lorries, don't they? So they can peer into lorry cabs, other cabs. But there's just not enough of them to catch these bad guys, is there?
No.
The amount of people on their phones.
I say when I went down to the catacombs, it was an amazing experience I had there because I was driving along late at night and I was in the middle lane, and it was like there was a car just came straight out. Oh, no, I wasn't. I was in the right-hand lane. I was overtaking, and a car came straight out of a slip road, straight across all the traffic, straight into the right-hand lane. Just like, all right. I was like, what the shit? And then we started going slow. Like Ray had with it, just started going slow. So I thought, oh shit, so I pulled out and I was looking and he's had a disabled sticker on the back of his car. I'm like, so this guy's disabled and he's driving like as if, he's going to push everyone off the road. And it's like, so I thought, I'll show him, like, all right. So I bided my time and I let him go away into the distance. And I thought, right, I'm going to play him at his same trick, right? So what I did is I went down the left-hand lane and I sped up like all right down the left-hand lane. Like, all right. And when we came to a slip road, I came like as if I was coming out the slip road, and I went straight across and in front of him, and then slammed my brakes on in front of him, and he was like beep 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 beep, and he was like, yeah, now you know what it's like, motherfucker. Fucking yeah. Now you know what it's like.
Yeah.
And I said to Dan, I just can't believe it. This fucking guy had a disabled sticker on the back of his car, and he's just literally like across the fucking all the lanes, like just.
It's probably because his other arm fell off as he was trying to steer, so he had no choice.
Jesus.
Did I ever tell you I got overtaken by quite an old lady at 90 before. That was quite humiliating. She was going for it.
Yeah, dear.
Yeah.
On Dot Street, was it?
No, it wasn't.
You saying
if
that
it was, fair play.
I was told that she drove into a
Fair
car
bloody
with
play.
a mobility thing the other day, Matt.
Oh no. She told me, right? I mean, she told me that she lost her license because she was like 3 times over the limit or something, and she rammed into the back of somebody's car, and then so they took her license off her for
Don't
2
give all
years,
secrets.
and she'd only just got it back. She'd only just got her license back, and I said, I tell you what, Ray, I have to tell. There's a part to this story I can't tell the rest of people, right? But I'll tell you in a minute, right? I'll tell you later.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah. Because I think you'll find it funny. Because he knows this person I'm talking about. But it was like, drunk driving, naughty, ramming a car, bit naughtier. But this was the naughtiest bit of all. Hang on. I'm going to send it to you now. Watch when Ray gets this. Watch his face now.
Oh, for fuck.
Oh yeah. Apparently, and I was like, "Go girl, go girl,
Let's have it. Let's have it,
go
Matt.
girl."
I'll send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
Put it on the southwest.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
God's sake.
Yeah. Go girl.
Savage.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, right? I love that spirit. I love that sort of yeah.
She's always been like that.
Yeah, I love that spirit.
Funny.
Nothing stops him, Well, John, have you sent it to John as well?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't leave Tins. We can't leave Tin Scout.
I know. That
It's just someone we know, basically.
Yeah.
Oh
Right,
dear.
let me send it.
But it's
Bless.
I've sent it to him already, Matt.
Oh, you have. Right.
You haven't. I haven't had it, mate.
There we go.
You have, because you replied to it.
I said who because you sent a message.
someone we know.
Yeah. But yeah, it was her birthday party the other day. I went down to a birthday party with Miles, and she was paralytic, man. She was paralytic. She could hardly speak.
That's normal.
She was going. And I was like, what? So I was like shouting in my ear, and she was like, okay, love. Yeah, fair.
Where the fuck is Izzy from Rainbow?
Gone. Yeah.
It's like Father
Fair
Ted. Drink.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
It's too personal. It's too personal. They're saying, "Go on, tell us." I can't.
He hasn't got the license to.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dang.
So there we go.
See what's happening in the Explore Norfolk. Watch a sports car plough into a hedge on the back roads the other day. Screen was splattered with milk. The dude was eating cereal out of a bowl. Brilliant.
And he couldn't move over.
I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Cool.
Yeah. Dear.
Well, did you hear about the accident on the A303 with the drugged lorry driver that smashed into 3 people and killed them?
Oh shit.
That road is always trouble.
Yeah, someone that works at the same company I do. But
Haven't they got the
that died.
tunnel approval now for that long
I think it was
tunnel?
on a hold, wasn't it?
I saw on the news like maybe a month ago it's been approved, but I think every time it gets some hold up, doesn't it?
they shouldn't spend that money. It's ridiculous.
It's always expensive to build underground. That's the problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like the government's never got any money, but then, we're going to spend 30 billion here, and we're going to have this, and we're going to have that, but we got no money. We're suffering. And it's like, but then they go and like roll out the most expensive projects, which is like, but you haven't got any money.
Yeah, and they keep saying,
money tree.
We haven't got a money tree, but we can afford to pay for this amazing train that we're going to put in. This high-speed train. How many billion is that?
Oh, God knows.
The thing is, the government have got enough money. They've always got enough money. They just don't want to give it to little people. They want it for like big things and their mates.
People need to realise, like, that the government, all they want, well, especially the Tories, all they bloody want is to keep everyone desperate. They want to keep them on the breadline, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's like if you increase fuel prices and you make it harder for people to be on the road, all it does is it's going to like. I think that in their minds, I honestly think that in the minds of like these, elite, they just want people off the road. So therefore, if they make it too expensive, the tunnel was refused apparently. Yeah. If they make it too expensive, they think it's going to be like, we'll have the roads for ourselves. It's like putting parking, meters everywhere. It's fine if you've got money to pay for parking meters, then great, but all the poor people can't. So they have to stay out of these areas. They can't go to them.
Kills the high street as well, these parking charges.
Yeah.
That's why all these shops are shut down.
Devizes, it's all parking now, and people just don't want to go there. Parking charges.
So the town centre's all dead. All the big shops are all moving out. It's all pound shops and bloody barber shops, things like that. Probably. Yeah, it's just crap shops, isn't it? Basically, charity shops.
I mean, it's cheaper for me to buy some consumables, like and get it delivered next day from Amazon, than it is to buy it in Morrison's. It's like like Gillette shaving foam stuff, gel. Right, it was like £2.50. It's like £3.50 in Morrison's, and I can get it delivered tomorrow, free from Amazon.
Well, that Amazon now go through Morrison's now.
Amazon go through Morrison's.
Yeah, we've got an Amazon department now where you get your shopping within an hour.
So Amazon deliver the Morrison shopping, is it?
Back in the set.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got to pay Morrison's prices, but Amazon deliver it.
Not sure about that.
Wouldn't it be? It's funny, isn't it? Because like if they're getting the real prices off Morrison's and selling it through Amazon, I mean, it's just mind blowing. It's like, I want to come into Morrison's and spend more money when I can have it delivered to my door free by Amazon within an hour. But it's actually bought from Morrison's because they're ripping us off. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know how it works, but. Are you around on Saturday, Matt?
Might be, yeah. To be honest, I think Morrison's are a bloody rip-off. They really are. I mean, it's like, they always put a pound on this and a pound on that, things
They're
that
all
you can...
Aren't they? Tesco's the same, Sainsbury's the same.
Like put in, like, what was it? The dog food I get, it's like £8, and I can get that for £7 down the road. So why do they need an extra pound?
I'll just shop at Lidl's. It's much better, man. No, Aldi's. Aldi's is the better one for me.
Yeah, I was going to say Aldi's better because you don't spend as much because you haven't got such range of proper brands in Aldi than you do Lidl.
The thing that annoys me with those German supermarkets is there's only one checkout open, and it's you have to do it. It's mostly one way, isn't it? Because the aisles are so long.
Yeah, but if I'm getting my stuff cheap, I couldn't give a shit how long I'll wait.
Yeah,
to be honest.
But yeah, I think Sainsbury's is pretty expensive these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're already
SBS.
We're already selling bloody mince pies, and it's not even bloody October yet.
Golf 8
Oh yeah, it's all about
XPS
Christmas
says,
stuff.
can you ask me a question via email? Yes, of course you can. It's me@thematthewwilliams.com. I'll put it in the thing down below.
Who's asking that?
Somebody in the chat. That's my email address. Anyone's welcome to email me, because I would much rather people try to email me than try to Instagram me and try to message me on Facebook Messenger, because I don't respond. Even if I see your message, I won't respond, because if I respond, then you keep on like hammering me, blah, 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 like, you know, and that's for friends only. So just remember, if you want to get an answer from me, email me. You know, because if you go around the back door, as it were, and try to get me via Messenger or Instagram, I just ignore you.
It's going to get a bit dirty if you do that.
I just like a Ray when you say stuff like that.
I just ignore it. Yeah.
I was being framed.
You know, because I gotta be real. You know, there's some systems that I can block people. Like if they start ringing me, like, oh, you know, Swindon Spastic, he's got his mate to ring me at like 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning, and he's been doing it a lot. So I've got that now to give to the police. The thing is, I can put all those on block so they don't ring my phone. But I like to keep.
Is that the guy from Reading, his mate?
Nah, Swindon Spastic. Nah.
You know the one I'm talking about, from Reading, and hangs out with.
Yeah. But it's got his mate. I don't know who he is, but he's got his numbers there, and he's left a message referring to who he's a mate of. So it's like, well, you're basically then giving me ammunition to pass that to the police. So well done, clever, you know. And he's going to be up in court soon, and what he doesn't realise, but he might find out on the day, is when he goes to court, half of Swindon are going to be turning up to watch the case because they hate him. So all the people he's pissed off over the years are all going to be coming to court to watch him from the public gallery at the back. So he's going to be like this, because everyone's going to be like this to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unknown says you never replied to his email, but I assume you get loads of emails, don't you?
Have I not? Have I not? When? When did you send it? Send it again. That's all I can say. I mean, send it again. I mean, I might not have received it. It might not have come in. But I think I've...
You've got 2 emails, haven't you?
Well, one now, because I lost control of it, the first one, the Truthsy one. Yeah. It just disappeared. I couldn't get access to it anymore, so...
Didn't you just put your email in the chat?
Yeah, that's my normal email address. But, I mean, people have told me they've sent me email after email, and I haven't got them. So they do get lost. So just try it.
You know.
Go check your junk.
Yeah. Oh, God, I keep forgetting I have to do something for somebody. This is the trouble is, like, you know, I forget to do things as well. So
that's the story of my life.
I'll just send you an email. Don't know if you get it. See what comes through.
Somebody's asking, has anybody explored the tunnels under Norwich?
No.
Nope.
I didn't know there was any.
What sort of tunnels? World War II?
Smugglers' tunnels.
Yeah, smugglers. Smugglers is like 1800s, isn't it?
Somebody called Mr. Tree Adventures is asking.
That's a tree.
Never been in Norwich, to my knowledge.
I've been to Norwich, but I've not.
I didn't know there were any tunnels under there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
What tunnels are under there, Mr. Tree?
Nice looking tree, by the way.
Yeah.
Because we all like a good World War II tunnel, don't we?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, apparently there's quite a lot of them.
Was there?
Yeah.
It's like we'll have to. The only thing is, though, it's so far away from us.
Yeah,
It's
it's fair
this
away.
sort of thing where you've got to
It is for you.
spend a night or two up there.
And still, that's
Scrolling
not enough
Within's
time.
message has just come through. So
You got
this
that?
just came through, yeah.
But we're prioritised.
I've just got that from. I'll try and not show the top bit. Good old Little Britain.
Hello, Martin. It's Linda.
I just don't get why they've taken it off Netflix, because on normal TV, fair enough. But if you go onto Netflix, you're going on there to watch something you want to watch, surely. So to take it off there,
They've taken loads of them off YouTube. Well, there was loads of videos on
Yeah.
YouTube. They removed them.
It's
All the
just-
ones with the where they dress up as drag queens and they do the
Doing
ladies,
impression.
posh ladies. Yeah,
yeah.
they've all been removed. Or loads of them have been removed.
I mean, it's not disrespect to anyone, is it? It's just banter,
Comedy.
isn't it? Comedy, yeah.
They try to take off the Faulty Towers. Don't mention the war episode.
Because no one likes.
Yeah, John Cleese
comedy,
kicked
and
off about that.
It's all
It's
all
this,
PC shit, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
woke
can't say
society,
anything.
innit? It's a load of
Yeah,
bollocks.
I mean, I think we should laugh about it. I mean, the comedy it expands everywhere. You can't. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't like that. You can't just take it off
Hey.
because you don't like it.
I felt sorry for Chubby Brown, Roy Chubby Brown. He's been having all his gigs cancelled. They've been cancelling all his gigs, all the councils up, because you've got woke people complaining. At the end of the day, it's his livelihood, isn't it? That's what he does. And as he says before the show, if you don't like it and you're easily offended, don't come.
Yeah, as Barry says, PC's gone too far.
Yeah.
That's why you
It's
go for
a
Mac.
shame, really. Yeah, it is a shame.
Yeah.
There's some good,
That's
good,
like that.
good funny stuff out there.
I don't know if you must have heard of a comedian called Jimmy Jones.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, this guy, he's well known. If you look him up, you'll probably you've seen him as well. I went to a gig with him and like at his place, and I'll tell you what, he's sexist, racist, whatever. But beforehand, he said, "I'm only joking. It's all in jest, etc." And he was ripping the piss out of everyone all night, including a black fella who was sitting wherever. All night, ripping it out, yeah. And you know what he did afterwards? He went up to the guy, shook him by the hand, he paid for everything that he'd had done in the night. And said, thanks very much. Because
Who was
he's
that?
not...
Did that?
Jimmy Jones. He's a old school comedian, basically. But extremely funny, really nice guy, actually. But he was... this day and age is going to be deemed as completely wrong. You can't do anything like that. But he literally just went up to this guy afterwards at the table and he's just sort of talking to him and he paid for everything the guy had had all night.
It's like Jim Davis, and you never hear about him anymore, do you?
Well, I've seen
No,
him
you don't,
recently.
actually.
I actually watched him.
Is that the guy
He
that
was
did
on
the
some
Generation
radio
game?
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's live. He was in Device's Corn Exchange. And it's very funny.
He keeps coming up on my YouTube stream. He's just done some. He must have a YouTube channel or something, and he's got a boat, and he keeps going on the boat talking about it.
That's right, yeah.
I think
He's
it's, I
also
don't know,
got
a narrow boat, is it? I don't know, something like that.
No, he's got a big power cruiser,
Right.
live on board boat,
I see.
He takes it over to France and all over the place, yeah. I have seen stuff with his boat, but the thing is, what he does as well, he's got his own website with video, so you can watch him on his own website because he's pissed off because of the wokeness of he can't tell any jokes because it could get taken off YouTube, and he just said, I've had a guts for this, so he's got a subscriber service now, and if you like him, you can subscribe, and he does live streams like we do, but he does it on his on his thing, and you can actually ask him questions and all that, and he'd be on his boat, like, you know, like riding his boat, like answering questions and shit, like, yeah.
How long did it take you, moving subject, to clean your boat the other day?
Well, I've only just finished today, because yesterday I let it just be out in the rain because it was raining, so I just said, "Oh, sod it," you know, so I just left it there. But like the first day, I pressure washed the front half of it, and then today I pressure washed the back half of it and the underneath of it, and yeah, I mean, just about finished it, you know. So
because I did see your video,
days.
And that was mental, like how dirty that was.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
How long did you? Yeah, go on.
It's stained. That mud has stained the plastic in places as well. So I think it must have had bits of, must have had something in it, some petrochemicals or something. Yeah.
Blimey, how far did you? Because you said you stalled bringing it back for the tide. How long do you think you left it late by?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That tight, like, you know, and the reason was because we hung around doing some extra filming at these botels, and Dan had lost my cable. He said, "You got a USB cable?" So I threw him one up, and I said later, I said, "Have you got that USB cable?" He goes, "Oh no." And I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I had to go back to the botel. I had to turn around and go back there and come back, and that was the time that cocked it up for getting to shore and caused major aggro. Like, I mean, I was so knackered after that, you know, like trying to lift the boat and it wasn't going anywhere. I'm never ever going to try to lift the boat ever again. I mean, it's like you can't lift that boat. It's just impossible. So
how many is it? Just Dan and Jordan that went?
Dan, Jordan, and Flex. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, Dan's asked me if I want to go and do some stuff tomorrow, but I don't exactly know what it is he wants to do. So I did say, like, you know, let's kind of sort it out first, because I'm not sure I can get the dog looked after. So it's a bit short notice, really. So we'll see. But anyway, check out Windows Update Blocker. If anybody wants Windows Update Blocker, go and get that on your system. So I was saying earlier on, Windows Update Blocker. Did I put the link in the channel?
Yeah, you did.
For everybody? I did.
There's no, like,
tabs down.
What do you call it? Spyware or adware with that?
No, it's perfectly fine. I've been using it for a while, and I just don't get any aggro now. It's amazing. So this is just like going back to Windows 7. It's like, I'm in control. Thank you very much.
To be fair, though, I don't get Windows updates all that often.
Nor do I, actually, thinking about it.
I had one earlier, but it took like 2 minutes. That's it. Yeah. Maybe because you put off your updates, they build up. Maybe that's why it keeps pestering you, maybe.
Well, when it says restart without doing updates, and I go, yes, because I need the machine now, and it just does them, I'm like, I don't care whether it's one update or 100 updates. It's like, you've just done what I asked. I told you not to do, and I can't be doing with that.
Yeah, it just bypasses it. I've had that a few times now. And like, you can put it off and put it off, and then you restart your machine like you normally do, and then it just does it anyway. It's like, I didn't ask you to do that.
That's what mine did earlier.
Yeah.
I don't have my updates on it. Force it.
Speaking of updates, has everyone updated their iPhones? Because there was like an emergency security patch released yesterday.
Yeah,
Matt's done his.
I ain't got an iPhone.
Well, you mean Apple's have faults that mean people can get in and hack them? Oh, really?
I think it was a backdoor through iMessage, which allowed someone to take control.
Somebody gone in your backdoor, Ray?
No, not my backdoor. No, my backdoor's closed to everybody.
Well, you don't want no one coming in your back door, do you?
No, a bit messy.
Rubbing their dirty shoes all over it. Carpets.
Yeah.
Turns if you keep your carpets clean, Ray.
Not washing their hands before they came in there. Yeah.
Oh,
Just grabbed your handle, twisted it, and went straight in.
ouch.
Had to bite the pillow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw somebody talking of
Arse.
somebody posted sort of us, yeah. Somebody posted some pictures. It reminded me the other day actually because somebody's concreted up the entrance or one of the entrances to Swan.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Really?
Concrete.
You know the smaller entrance, the first one we went in.
Yeah.
By the bus stop.
Yeah. Apparently they've made it. They've put a big concrete block on it to just leave it open for bats. There's a very, very tight gap on it apparently.
And what
Well,
about the other
I
one?
thought it
Yeah,
just doesn't
the other one
belong
hasn't
to
been
anybody.
touched, though. Don't think the other one's been touched.
Apparently, it's open again. That Mr. Trio Ventures says.
All right, okay. There we go.
It's like
Why
stuff
have they
that doesn't
concrete-
belong to anybody, and they're like, "Oh, let's go and concrete this up," but it's like
It's tunnel
it doesn't
blocker.
belong to anybody.
Yeah, I know. Nuts. And the thing is, you know, they're not stopping people from getting in there because obviously you can go in the other way and you can still get back to that part where the other one is if you're skinny.
Well, to be fair though, I couldn't even get through that.
I just don't understand why somebody's had to do something to make it like a small hole for bats, but when bats can get in through the massive hole that was there when it wasn't
Yeah.
concreted.
Yeah, it's just to stop everyone else going in there innit, for the bats.
Health and safety gone mad.
They probably concrete the other one up now as well, won't they? They'll probably seal that one up. I think,
Probably. Probably,
You know, the
and there'll
small-
be some people going down there with some chisels and hammers and taking that back and putting it back open.
You know the small gap inside the mine that connects the two entrances?
Yeah,
Has that always been that small? Or is it slowly
but it's probably collapsed at some point, isn't it?
collapsed? Yeah, because I couldn't get through that when I went.
Loads of people do go through it though, don't they? I've seen loads of videos of people going through that.
Yeah. It just seemed a bit too tight.
Yeah. But then the one in Sally in the Woods is tight, isn't it? Around the bend, and that's quite small, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
hands and knees
yeah.
job, that one.
They did freak someone out when we went in there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Who yeah, anyway, that's not
We won't go there.
Don't start
But that-
one, no.
that was the one where the metal bar was going over and didn't you say a rock moved when you came through it?
Yeah.
That was quite sketch. But if you don't know where that place is, where the entrance is, like you're not going to find it. I don't think you've really got to know where you're going.
I don't know because there's a lot of videos out there, isn't there? So if
I
you
guess
watch
so.
them all, you'll get ideas where it is.
We went in pitch black on horrible.
Yeah. And when we
rainy-
came out, it was absolutely horrendous weather outside, wasn't it? And where there was us running down the road.
That was the night we were driving back, and I was doing 60 down this country road, and massive bit of tree in the middle of the road. Literally did emergency stop, and I think I hit it. Yeah, probably about 10 mile an hour, and it got wedged underneath the car, didn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, and if I'd done that at 60, that would have been, I don't know. But luckily I managed to get down to about 10, so it sort of got wedged under the car. So I had to sort of get underneath the car and break this log twig thing out of my hands.
And that bloke stopped as well, didn't he?
Yeah, a guy stopped behind us in a Jag, said, "Oh, you guys are right, I'll just hang about in case you need anything," which was cool. But yeah, really bad conditions.
What do you think about this one's to Matt? What do you think about Rudlow at the moment? Is something going on down there or what?
They're definitely using the underground bits to do with this new data center, apparently. So they're saying.
And the old manor part I'm talking now.
Oh well, there's no underground per se. There's a very old quarry, but it's very very tight space quarry. You know, it's not like
The quarry that's near there's planning gone in to put that back into use, mind. I've seen it.
Which quarry, though? Because, I mean...
It's a really old working that's right next door, just basically behind the manor house.
Oh.
It's in the field. You know, in the back of the manor house, you've got like the pathway, haven't you? Like a pathway that comes up. The other side of that path is like a field, and there's workings in that field, and there's planning gone in to use that.
Huh. What do you have?
I don't know for what. They're saying it's for quarrying, but who knows?
Well, there's a few quarries around the area. So, I mean, yeah, you got Pickwick's quarry. You got the one at Monks Park Lane. There's a quarry there because it's like half of the you got one half is a quarry and the other half is a quarry that's been turned into an underground store. So it's got roads and it's like very modernized. Like you've got underground at Spring Quarry. It's just roads and you can drive on and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so they've got a number of quarries around the area. I wonder why they need another quarry.
Yeah,
bizarre.
Greed.
Have you been down Copenhagen, Matt? Have you before?
I've never been in Copenhagen. No, it's the only one I didn't get to go. Dan did.
Yeah,
they went down there. I wouldn't mind having a go at getting in there actually, but I haven't got round to it. The trouble is they built a housing estate around it now, so it's very hard to do anything without somebody coming out their house being nosy frigging neighbours,
Is that the one you sent the screenshot of? Thanks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that other kid wanted to go to it, didn't he?
So I don't know what.
Back of the entrance, there's no houses at the back of the entrance though, so you could have a look at it, and you could get quite close to it, the fence, in other words.
Well, there is a house, kind of directly. They can see you. I think if you try to get in there, they'll see you.
Are you talking about the entrance that's on the main road, or the other one at the back of the estate?
Well, there's two which are kind of level with the main road, sort of parallel with the main road.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Those are two entrances, but I mean, there's air shafts which are around the back of somebody's house. That's another way that if you could possibly rappel down there, you get in that way.
The actual main slope shafts, the two though, they're all sealed up, and you're not getting in them, are you?
I don't know how much they're sealed up. Yeah. So somebody's saying, didn't I go down the Grain Fort tunnels whilst at the Isle of Grain, Matt? Well, I didn't know there were Grain Fort tunnels. There's the Grain Fort, and it has got it's like a cesspit basically, where it's filled up with water, but it used to be rooms. Yes, we went in there. Actually, I'm editing the video of it now, where I just took Dan and all the people we were with. We went round on the boat round the Grain Fort, and I've just inserted a piece of footage which shows the drone footage, telling people to go and watch the video. But it's actually called Grain Fort Cesspit Tunnels or something like that, because it's cesspit stinky tunnels, and because we went down there in waders and it was really smelly. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, well, I'm editing that one not as we speak, but I'm editing it to come out pretty soon, like within the next day or so. So
did that drone footage sort itself out, Matt? The one I sent you, it was YouTube. About the quality.
Yes, I did get it. Yes. I'm just trying to think which one was now.
Benedon.
Yes, Benedon, yes. Which Kaylee's put out now, so I said I'd let her video go first before editing anything. Do you want me to let you have yours out first, because you were there first? So,
when's yours ready to go? Or have you not started it yet?
I haven't started it. No, sorry. Could be.
Yeah, I'll let you know, because I've not even started that yet.
Nor have I, actually.
Well, I'm pretty much, and I could get it out within days, like within a day or so. I was going to do it, but then I just happened to speak to Kaylee randomly, and she said, "Oh, I'm having my premiere tonight of that one." I said, "Oh, well, I won't bother editing it, and if you're doing it, I'll let you put yours out." But yeah,
when we went, we heard, or I heard this sort of footsteps, like glass being kicked. So I sort of walked up to catch the others up and say, "Look, I think someone's in the building." So then the whole mood changed, and we had to try and make ourselves scarce for a bit.
We got like freaked out because I could hear voices all the time, and like we kept on thinking we were hearing voices in the building, and then we would all go quiet and we wouldn't hear it, and it was like we sort of like turned our torches off several times to see if we could see torches or anyone coming.
Yeah,
it definitely felt like there was somebody there all the time,
Yeah, I'm sure I heard voices as well, but it was the footsteps that did it for me.
Yeah, but
just
did you
like someone kicking something on the floor?
It was only when we came out of there it said that there's dog training on site.
Yeah, but when I sent the drone up, I couldn't see anyone there on site because I did like a reconnaissance to see if there's anyone about.
You were there daytime, and this was happening, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were there at night time. There shouldn't really been anybody around at night,
No, but either way, it kind of spooked us a bit. So we just made ourselves scarce, and then we went and did a couple of other buildings.
My thought on it was, well, if there is security on there, wouldn't you think they would have patched up the way we got in?
Not really. Depends if they've got the funds to do it or the time to do it.
Well, it's very smashed up there, though. I mean, there's so many ways in now. People have been kicking the windows and doors through. Like
watching Kaylee's video, she went with Andrew and Chloe, and I think she must have gone the week before, no later than that. And we went in the same way she did with them. So in that time, they haven't sealed that entrance up. It's still wide open. So I don't think they're that bothered, to be honest. Did you go in through the glass window, the main bit? So as you go in through the main perimeter wooden fence, so you go in through that.
Yeah.
And then the big sort of not horseshoe shape, but similar. And then that building there, you climb in through a big glass. Someone smashed the window, and you just climb in through that.
There were doors open and windows open, and there were so many things that were open. I can't remember how we went in, but it didn't look to me like it was actually going to be any problem going in. But they had closed. Apparently, they had closed one area that we went to. Some building, was it the boardroom or something they called it? The boardroom building that was all closed, and there was a modern building there. It was the most modern one. And that was closed, which apparently was open last time, but it's now been closed. So, Frank is saying something about this. There's been paranormal activity in those grain fort tunnels. Well, you're talking about tunnels that are just inside this little round fort. I mean, it's not very big. So when you say tunnels, you're talking about rooms, basically. You go down through a hole, and there's just 4 or 5 rooms there. But I mean, it's hardly tunnels per se, unless you know something I don't about tunnels there.
It's just like a basement, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just a basement. Yeah. Because a lot of those sea forts, they almost go to like under the sea level. There's levels that are like go beneath the sea, so those are classed as like the basement areas, and
Some of them, I sort of caught the end of your video, but at the top, some of them reminded me of Nab Tower a little bit. So, random type.
Well, there's a guy just emailed me, Philip Shepherd his name is, and he said he's the joint founder of Project Red Sands, and he's just written to me, and he's one of the 3 founder members, and he's just written to me saying he's just seen the video. He said he hasn't had a chance to have a look at it yet, but he's looking forward to it this evening, but he's
Cool.
he's not having a go at us for being there, so which is quite good. He's left his number, so yeah.
Not like Nab Tower.
Well, yeah, bloody hell.
That was a pain, wasn't it?
Mm.
That was
Yeah.
nearly a year ago we went there. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that was November last year.
Yeah, and I've got it. I really am wanting to go and do some more stuff. Like, I mean, some people are saying they want to come out on the boat, and I'm saying, well, look, I will take you, but got to remember, like,
It's cash, isn't it?
is this the money that it costs? Because it costs me like 50 quid at least in diesel to get down there in my car, towing the boat. It costs 47 quid to actually get out there to Red Sands and back. Right, because we came from Rochester, and we also went into Rochester, and that was half an hour in and around, and then it was 1.5 hours to get from Rochester over to the Red Sands and back. That's 3 hours plus 2 half-hour things there. So you're talking about 4 hours of boating, which was 47 quid's worth of fuel. So I don't mind taking people out to these things, but they're going to have to pay all the fuel costs, because I can't literally delve into my pocket to drive down there.
That's fair enough.
Just for the petrol costs of the boat, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
because obviously, if you've done something, then
I don't need to go back.
No, so someone needs to fill in what would be your share if you hadn't done it, sort of thing.
That's it. But I mean, I'm more than happy to take people out, and I've said this to a few people, but I don't want to be a party pooper, but I do have to ask for the petrol money, because otherwise it's going to just mean I just don't do any explores, because I'm now paying to take other people out on explores. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, we've always said we're happy to chuck your petrol money for
definitely
boat trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And we have to get something sorted again soon.
But if you want to get out there, I'm more than happy to take you. But it's a case of need to do it on good weather days, really, So, and Mr. Carl is trying to drum up some interest with Urban Legend and possibly somebody else to come down and do Portsmouth. So to do the Solent and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to come down and meet you guys, because it's my neck of the woods anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, I've done 2 of the split forts.
I've done none of them.
It's just the other 2 I've not done.
Ray, you still haven't done any of them?
No, because it was this time exactly 1 year ago that you guys went, and I couldn't because my daughter was being born. Well, exactly 1 year right now. So
well, why when if it happens with Carl, then right, we've got to get you out, because you still haven't seen any of those. Then
no, that'd be great if we can.
Yeah,
it's definitely a good one, right?
And I mean, it's a lot less for me to get down there, and it's a lot less in petrol to get around, so on the boat. So it's as expensive. But that was a fairly expensive one, Red Sands, because of the distance.
Yeah.
I'd like to get under the moat in Bristol, but the only way to do that is if we can get the Kraken for me.
Well, you mean you want to go in the tunnel that goes towards town, and then you pop
Castle.
out?
Yeah, Castle tunnel.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
Isn't that the one that you said that someone threw like a
banger?
Yeah, and it
massive banger. Yeah. And all the shit came off the ceiling, like it's like, yeah.
I've just sent you a link for something, Matt. Well, I did at the beginning of the stream that someone mentioned to me, and it's in Bristol.
Yeah, Matt's done that.
Has he?
Is it the one you sent me earlier?
Yeah.
Did you send it in the private chat?
I sent it via WhatsApp about an hour or so ago.
Oh,
okay. It's a Google link. First message I've sent you today.
Right. It says, "Can I come home?" The computer says no.
No, above.
Above. Right, okay.
Keep going. There's a Google link.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I've done that. But the thing is, there's one part of that nobody has seen. There's one part of it that nobody has actually seen at all.
Is that because you don't know where it is?
No. It's just it's not part of the classic bit that everybody talks about and everybody goes to. Yeah. I know exactly where it is.
You can get in it, don't you?
I'm not sure.
Because a lot of it's gated off, and you've got a permission for a lot of it.
Because they do tours down there, I was told when I was given this information tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And I went on, I went there unofficially, and I went there officially. And to be honest, it's, better off going there unofficially, really. Because there was too many people. It was just a bloody noise fest, basically.
I think what we need to do quite soon, I think you've done these, Matt, anyway, but we need to get to Dover before winter comes in. The evenings get even shorter.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so I don't know if you're up. I don't know. Have you done the stuff around Dover, Matt?
Yeah, Ian showed me quite a few of them, so I could probably get you to some of them. But there might be some more that I haven't seen that we can get Ian out to show us a few extra bits. Because I don't want to waste his time. Because I can take you to some of the ones he showed me, so he doesn't have to waste his time, and then we can see if there's any extra ones that he's got that haven't been seen.
What's happening with him? He hasn't put a video out for ages, has he?
Well, I don't know. I think he has, hasn't he? I'm just going to check now. But he's got a job and he's now got a girlfriend. So, so I think he might be busy shagging her, probably exploring.
1 month ago. Well, his last proper video was quite D-Day landing craft dumped in river. That's his last main video.
He's put little clips out. Little clips, but no biggies. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure on shorts. To be honest, they either work or they don't.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm up for it, but I want to try and use the boat to do some things that haven't been done, like sort of get to do some stuff. Like Red Sands is good. I've ticked that off the list. There's a few others I'd like to do.
We need to Mersey as well, isn't there?
We need to finish off something we did last November as well. Obviously, I won't say
Mersey.
Mersey, yeah.
Mersey.
Just trying to think what that is.
Text it.
It was just the three of us when we went.
Well, you, me, and Matt.
Yeah.
November.
I'll put it in the private chat. Hang on.
I honestly don't know where the time goes, to be honest. When I see this, I'll be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
that wasn't November, was it?
Yeah.
It was last November. We did
Bethel.
That was November.
Yeah, because it was the night I actually ordered my drone. It was Black Friday, I think.
Yeah. And last time I went to Bethel, the farmer had pushed up so much like thorny bushes against the entrance.
I've heard stories recently about that guy. He keeps getting this digger and like shoving earth there and building makeshift walls and literally putting everything he can to block it.
Yeah, he's desperate to try and stop people. Apparently, I heard somebody told me that they went there to take somebody down there, and they didn't go down. They stayed out. But the person that was down there, when they came back up the ladder, they struggled to get out because he put a load of big bales of hay on top of the hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Because that is the only way in and the only way out.
Yeah. He must have known they were in there.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a
dick move
doing that. Yeah,
it's really bad. Yeah.
Maybe somebody should have a word with him, a stern word. Because I mean, they come up to me and they were like, sort of, are you going down that thing? And I was like, nah, you can't park your car, yeah. And I said, well, I'm parked out of the way. And they're like, yeah, but you can't because it's our land. And I said, well, what would you rather me do then? Block the bloody lane? I said, come on now, like people are parking here to stay away from your entrances, so you can still get in and out of your things. And you can't park here. And it's like, well, I'll tell you what then. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll come and park outside your house then. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll block you in outside your house. It's like fucking arseholes, basically.
I think it's not so much the fact you park there, you just don't want you going down the hole, basically, yeah.
Yeah, what's it got to do with him? It's just, the entrance is on his land. He doesn't own the quarry.
No.
It's like get off my land territory, isn't it? It's like I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Why is it your land? Well, because I own it. Well, why do you own it? Well, because my forefathers owned it. And how did they own it? It's the old thing of like, well, because they probably fought somebody in the past. It's like, well, I fight you for it now then.
To be honest, I think I'd fear the cows in that field more than the farmer.
Yeah. And the mud.
When we went, that was terrible, wasn't it? And when we came out, it was that much colder outside, and the mud had hardened, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it was actually easier to get out, but it was a wash getting in. And then Taffy decides to fart up the ladder. There's only one way that would have gone.
Jeez. That was an absolute. I've never. Well, I have smelled farts like that, but it was almost like as if he had a bad stomach. It was like a diarrhea sort of experience, wasn't it? It was like, what the fuck?
Because
been eating.
Yeah, he was like halfway up the ladder. And were you below or above him on the ladder, Tints?
I was underneath. Yeah, I was the last one out, wasn't I?
So you complained about it. We could hear the commotion halfway down this 160-foot ladder. And then 20 seconds later, the smell just made its way to the top. And then Matt was, like, I need to get out of here right now. Yeah, it wasn't nice. Funny looking back at it, but at the time.
You want to get a JCB and open the other entrance up, Matt?
Well, yeah, because all you take is a bit of earth.
One of those little mini diggers would do it.
Well, the thing is, there's another way it could be done as well, is from the inside, those doors swing two ways. So all you have to do is remove the little bit that's on the inside that's stopping it moving inwards, and you just open it and just open the doors in.
You could crawl over the top of that. It wasn't up above the door. There was a gap, wasn't
there?
So once you had those doors open, you could crawl over that.
I mean, who knows who's been doing that to stop people going in there, because it's like, who actually owns it?
Well, apparently there's a house right by the other side of it, and by the original entrance, there's a house right there, and I think they were complaining about people going in there. I think.
Yeah. Well, they didn't fucking complain for how many years the cannabis factory was in there. So why did they complain to themselves about how the fact that they managed to steal electric, drive umpteen bloody 100 things of liters of water and grow room equipment and all that going on underneath their noses, but now that they know that there's nobody in there, they're all, we don't want anyone in there, we don't want it. Well, hang on, you let those people grow cannabis in there for how many years?
And they must have known they were in there, because they would
surely
have
that
smell
would have got out somehow.
They must have known.
Yeah.
Which entrance did they use?
Maybe they were in on it.
The blue gated entrance.
Yeah, that was the only other way in, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's
I guess the one we went in, that would have been emergency shaft, would it?
Yeah.
As opposed to actual entrance.
Yeah. Because there's a shaft above the the square pool. There was a shaft right above that as well, wasn't there?
Was that?
No ladder, the deep pool you took photos of. Yeah, there was a shaft right above that, I think. There's no ladder or anything, just a shaft, an air shaft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes out. I've never actually seen where it comes out.
It looked like it might have been blocked up anyway, I think. I don't know, but...
It's always got, like, water leaking down it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that why that big pool's there, to catch it all? Or was that just...
Maybe you should gather it for usage down there, perhaps. I don't know, but... Who knows?
Well, I got a lot of likes on my Seafort, Red Sands, 500 likes. Normally, a lot of videos they just have like, well, actually, some of them have a few more, but yeah, that's got a lot of likes. Yeah.
You had a lot of views on it, Matt.
Just refresh it now to see. 5,400 views.
When did you put it live? It's only today, is it?
Lunchtime, I think. Yeah.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's generally where things lie, you know, like 5,000, 6,000, you know, lucky if I get like more than that. I've got more actually. I've got 8,000 on re-releasing the Children's Morgue Underground, Bristol Royal Infirmary. And I think it's because of those words like Children's Morgue. You know, it's like people are like, ooh, you know, because it's, you know, it's curious, isn't it? You know, like a morgue is interesting, but like children's morgue, you know, ooh,
yeah.
You know, you can see why people like they pick up on those words.
Yeah, it's the same with lots of things. You get keywords and things. It's like that's why I stuck UK Area 51 on my video, because I noticed that Dan Dixon had done it on his, and he had thousands of viewings on it.
Yeah, well, 1 million almost, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of your videos, Matt, it's got like, I think your highest one, isn't it? Like 900 or something.
600,000. It's the Drakelow Tunnels. Drakelow Tunnels. Entire walkthrough, 2.5 hour video.
Isn't that weird? That one has had so many, like.
Yeah, 864,000 views now. That one.
Have you done analytics on that and looked at your traffic sources and stuff like that? Be quite interesting. You can see where.
If I didn't do anything special with it, you know.
Yeah, so some things like that just get shared, don't they?
Mm.
Then they get shared again and shared again.
Yeah, over 960 days. Well, it's like it's leveling out how many views it's had, because it seemed to be that like between 960 and 640 days, then it started leveling off. But like from 640 days to my channel to the video first being put up, that's when it had its most views, from 0 to 640, and then it's leveled off. And you'd think that it would keep going, wouldn't you? You think if it's got like a sort of steady up, it would keep going. Maybe everybody who should see it has now seen it. That's the thing.
That's what I mean. It probably peaks because everything it goes up has to come down eventually.
So reach, Google search 32%, Facebook 16%, YouTube 8.3%.
So YouTube's not actually that high up there. It's external traffic.
Yeah.
How many views did your is it Whitley? Is that the one with the ballroom under the water? How many did that get?
Yeah, which I didn't get into the ballroom, but got in trouble with the
because you had the security thing, so I would have thought lots of people would have watched that.
Yeah, Thug Security. Yeah, here we go. How many do I have on that then? 11,000. Yeah.
Somebody just mentioned that. That's why I asked. Somebody mentioned they wanted to get in the ballroom. Good luck, mate. Whoever said that.
Well, yeah, give it a go, because the thing is, you can try it once, but if you come back, they'll just get fucking nasty with you, like, you know. And as you see in my video, have a look at my video and realize, yes, you can try it once, but it seems like, you know, don't go in from the north, which is where we went. Go long distance across country from the south.
I've seen a video of some guys doing that, and they came from the other side, and they managed to get right up to the entrance by the lake, but it's all padlocked up. They couldn't get down there. But they didn't go from the side where the security guys were.
Yeah, don't go from near where the security guys are to the north. Come across country from the south. You know, that's probably your best bet. And had we done that, we might have got in. Yeah, I don't know where can you find out which ones are my most popular videos in my just general analytics and tell me what the most popular videos are I've got.
Without looking myself, I don't remember off.
Right, my top videos are in this period: Filthy Nightclub, Paintball and Gym, that's got 11,000. Wiltshire Police seize items from my house, 10,000. St. Joseph's Orphanage, 10,000. Terrorist Police called by Matt Hooper. That I removed that one, but I re-uploaded it because there was something in it that, you know, wasn't meant to be there. Anyway, Barclays Bank data center, 9,000. But what about total? It says in this period. How can I set it to be like? Oh, here we are. Lifetime. There you go.
See, I would have thought the biggest video that would have got the most views for you is that really old one where you took a massive group of people to CCC.
Yeah.
And you were talking to the security guys in the doorway.
Yeah.
Now, I would have thought that would have had loads and loads of views.
I don't think people understand what it is from a context. It's just like some people walking down the lane and meeting some police. You know, it's like unless you know what CCC is.
Yeah.
I suppose it out of context, it doesn't mean very much. But yeah, I'm just wondering what my most over time, what my best videos would be. Like, you know, which are the best ones over all time. Anyway,
how long have you been doing the urbex stuff for? Because you didn't always used to post that, did you?
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing like looking into this stuff for about 20 years. You know, like going around places and filming things and just visiting them, really. But there was no outlet apart from doing lectures and talking to people, like, you know, doing lectures, which I did, and I would show the videos of where we'd been and interest people in it that way. And, you know, people used to always be surprised when you show underground stuff and you say, like, oh, we just walked straight in, and people are like, you know, amazed by it. But there was no outlet for it. And I wasn't much into the idea of like producing videos, because I tried it a few times with like crop circle stuff, but it's like such a ball ache to produce videos, and they're huge. You know, videos to store are huge, and you know, it's trying to get people to pay, and then they'll say like shops want it and they want to pay afterwards if it sells and shit like this, you know, and it's like, oh god. So you got to, you know, chase people for money, and you know, I couldn't be arsed with it. So YouTube is a blessing, because it's just like it's always there. People can watch it if they want to, and you know, you earn a little bit of revenue from it that way. And it's probably smaller revenue per video. You know, like if I sold a video, the revenue would be big per video, but I'd rather go for smaller revenue, because you just don't have to bugger about with anything really. YouTube just takes care of it, you know, because it's the aggro factor really of distributing videos to people in the past. Yeah, so yeah, YouTube is like having your own TV channel, which I did look into years ago, like putting stuff out on cable TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean, I met a couple of cable TV people, and I was chatted with them about it, and I learned about the law behind it and what you can do and what you can't do, and yeah, you know, we could have done it really. The cable people, they've got the ability to let you just pipe in, you know, shows, you know, and put shows on. So it's a bit like Wayne's World sort of things, you know. You can either do it recorded or you can do it live, but ultimately it was just the distances to these places, because one was in Swansea and one was in Newport, and it was just like the distances to get there to do it were just you know. So yeah, didn't end up doing that. And then YouTube came along.
What was in Swansea you were doing?
I would have been doing it on like UFOs and the paranormal and that sort of stuff. Right. Yeah. But I didn't have good editing gear then as well. It was just like linear editing. So it's like decks, you know, and it's not easy to do with like old-fashioned video editing. Is not that easy. It takes a lot of effort.
Now you got your proxy files.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a lot easier when you got non-linear editing, on a computer. It's so much easier.
Do you shoot in 4K or 1080?
4K. Yeah.
30 or 60?
30. If I'm running out of space, I'll put it down to 2.7K.
I don't actually know of a camera where you can shoot 4K 60 on H.264.
I do. The Pocket.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to do 4K 60 and it was doing HEVIC.
I'm pretty sure it's H.265 for all 4K 60s.
Well, I'm not sure, but
I can see why they do it, but they should at least give you an option.
Because that footage you've got of mine, Matt, on that memory card is all 4K 60.
Right. Well, you know that memory card is not really a very high-end memory card, which is maybe why it kind of screwed up. You want to get yourself something a little bit more oomph.
High data rate one, maybe. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because they have a number on a class number. I think you want class 10.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Well, class 10 is minimum. His card was class 10, but then they got UHC is a higher format, so it's U, which is the UHC format, and you get like UHC class 2, 3 now. So you want to be on probably like UHC class 2 or 3.
SanDisk Pro Extreme, I use it, pretty good.
SanDisk.
Yeah.
I think that's
SanDisk is the
black,
way to go.
The black ones, yeah.
I think that's the one I've got.
Extreme Pro, that's what the one that I use.
No, you
Got
had a
gold
grey
light
one.
on it.
You had the Ultra you gave to me.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, and they're all right, for sort of like 30. But I think if you're going to be trying to do 4K 60, you're pushing it, really.
I used to do all my videos in 4K, but as of late, I've done 1080 60 now.
I can't actually see where you would set it to H.264, H.265 in this. It doesn't appear.
Is there like a phone app for that camera where you can do it in there?
Yes.
Might have been there.
Yeah, there's no options really to switch H.264 or H.265, but I know it shoots in H.265, and it does definitely give me an option for 4K 60. I think it's H.265. Let me just double check. I think they are. Let me look at someone I just shot.
Somebody's offering to give you pins for Dover on the chat.
Yeah, I'll just reply to
that. AVC, Advanced Video Codec. MPEG 4. It's HEVC. So no, it's shooting in 264 then.
Yes. Hang on, what? 264?
It's shooting in 264 because let me look on the Mavic. Oh, nothing there. If I look on Mavic footage, that's definitely H.265. But my Pocket is shooting in 264 then. Oh dear. I kind of thought it was 265, but maybe it.
YouTube prefers 265, and
Yeah.
it seems to process it a lot easier as well, like seconds.
Yes, that's right. I found that out. Yeah.
Safari says, do you format your SD cards? I mean, personally, I always format it when I buy it, and then after that, I don't format it again because I don't see the point.
I always format them because it's quicker than trying to delete each file off the thing.
Well, I don't delete it. I just do cut and paste. That's all I do. Because obviously I need to move it from the SD card to my PC, don't I? So I just do a cut and paste as opposed to copy paste and then delete it. That's two birds with one stone, then, isn't it?
You mean move command then, basically move.
Yeah, Control X, move or cut, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Cheers, Dark Urban Exploring. We have to, definitely have to get up there. I mean, it's a good 3-hour drive for us.
Right.
We'll have to make it long.
Yeah, no, if it's HEVC, it says high efficiency video codec, and the Pocket isn't saying that. So it is shooting in normal MPEG-4,
Okay.
H.264, and it does do 60.
So that'd be quite beneficial.
A lot. It's going to use more.
Use
space.
more storage. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
And because the cards are not super fast, it means you're going to get a crapper data rate. So if you were shooting in 265, you'd have a better data rate, so it would look clearer. But
just to let you know, you quote me if I'm wrong, but 265 was designed or invented by Apple, don't you?
I'm
pretty sure that's Apple's format, HEVC.
H.265. No, all of these things are.
I'm pretty sure it's Apple. I might be wrong.
Motion JPEG, MPEG, right, is the Motion Picture Entertainment Group.
I thought it was Expert Group, Joint Pictures Expert Group for JPEG.
Yeah. So it's basically MP4, yeah, which is H.264.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is not Apple. But
no, the 265 HEVC.
I don't think so.
Apple. I'm pretty sure it's created by Apple.
The information's in the private chat.
Stick it in the.
Who created HEVC? Which is weird because they don't actually have it on their phones, and they were the last people to have it on their phones. So, yeah. Yeah.
In answer to your question, Ray, and 5 tanks of fuel later.
Not if you use the other one.
No. What is the topic? We're just talking about video formats.
Somebody is saying about the tunnels at Grain Fort. They're on the mainland before the old fort was knocked down. I don't know if there's something. Do you know about that?
Sorry, say that again. I was looking at something else.
Somebody's saying the main tunnels for the Grain Fort is on land, where the old fort used to be before it was knocked down in the 60s. So was there another fort on the mainland or something?
Oh, is there? Right, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So the thing is, high efficiency video codec, also known as H.265, and MPEG-H Part 2, that's what it's also known as, is a video compression standard. Yeah, MPEG-H Part 2 is designed as part of the MPEG-H processor as a successor to the AVC, Advanced Video Coding thing. As it basically
AVC, yeah, that was used back 10. That was Sony and Panasonic, I think, creators of AVC.
Yeah. So, but it's MPEG, and if it's MPEG, it's Motion Picture Entertainment Group or Expert Group or whatever. Yeah. So it's them, and they're not owned by Apple.
I'm sure I read somewhere they did. Well, maybe not.
Matt, going back to what I was just saying about the Grain Fort tunnels, the guy who sent that, he's put another comment in the chat and said he sent you an email about 10 minutes ago, and there's an article in it with photos of the tunnels, which are massive.
Okay. Oh, and Kenneth Lown sent me £10. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I just saw that. So let's have a look. Right, Frank Triggs, Grain Fort. Here's a photo of the tunnels. Right, let's have a look. Gun positions, casemates.
There must have been a Napoleonic one on the mainland then.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Bloody hell. No, didn't know anything about these. Grainfort tunnels. Okay. Wow. No, I didn't even know there was because I got invited to come out to this for an overnighter, and I had seen people like sleeping out there, but I wasn't aware that there was, because I hadn't looked into the history of it. I was just aware that there was this great little thing that when the tide was out, you could quickly get out to it, and then the tide would come in and you'd be stuck on it, and it was like, that's as much as my research had gone into it, to be honest, which is a bit sad, I know. But yeah, so I wasn't aware that it had a bit on land as well with tunnels. So maybe we should go back, because, I mean, guys, you like staying overnight in the Grainfort. It's classic. It's absolutely brilliant.
Which is the one you stayed with Taffy? Is that the one?
That's right. Yeah, stay
and
overnight.
He was doing that. He had giggles all night, didn't he?
Yeah. The sea comes in around you. It's amazing.
Probably wouldn't have got any sleep that night.
Yeah. Right. Ooh. Oh.
Have you heard about this on screen, Matt?
They found the old train stops in London. Well, yeah, there are.
What's the one you did? That was tram, wasn't it? That was an old tram line.
They're kind of common knowledge, and they're the old ones.
Yeah.
Shut down.
A number of them, isn't there?
People know where they are.
Aldwych is a good one, isn't it? Because it's the one they use for the all the films. These are the Bond.
We've been down there.
Yeah.
It's just getting in there is the problem.
We did Aldwych, didn't we?
People know where they are, but it's like they're locked doors to get you from the stations into the other stations. Locked doors. So some people seem to know how to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, London's fascinating, the underground world.
The Aldwych station is used mostly by the emergency services for training and that. The fire service used it a lot, I think.
I don't think it's Aldwych. I know what you mean.
They used to anyway. I know they used to use it. Perhaps they don't.
We've been down to Aldwych tube station. They've got an old 1930s tube stop car down there.
Right.
I'll put you on full screen. Hang on.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing with the app, the Mimo app, which is the DJI Pocket. So I
don't use the Mimo app.
No, but I'm just going to see if there are any options to switch it into HEVC, that you can't get any other way.
Right, guys, I'm going to go. I've got to get up tomorrow, so I'll speak to you later. Thanks for having me on.
No worries, mate.
See you,
I'll
John.
probably wrap it up shortly anyway.
Okay, mate.
Cheers, John.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, you too, guys.
See you soon.
Catch you later, mate.
Love you.
Yeah, love you too.
This is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. See you later, mate.
Bye.
Holborn platform. Yeah, that's. I don't think that's used either, is it?
When you were traveling some of the lines in London, you actually pass through some of the disused stations as well. Anyway, you see.
You do. Yeah. You just got to know when to look.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you do.
Gimbal easy control. Device management. Right.
You use Osmo Free, don't you, Tinsman Ray? Do you use it through the Mimo app, or do you use the normal phone camera?
I used to, but I stopped using it because it wouldn't let me save it to the memory card. So I used it will only let you save to the phone memory, and because I use the Samsung, the memory on board is not that big. So I started using the camera that's actually built into the phone, and it just works much better because I can save it to the memory card then.
Well, I don't use the app apart from connecting it to the gimbal. Only reason being is both times I've ever used the app, it's not worked. So when we were on the Isle of Wight, Steve, I was using my old gimbal and it didn't save any of the footage. So I had to go and do it all over again. And I think we were in the ferry house. and it did exactly that because I used it for something in there.
Yeah, I always use the native camera app, and the buttons on the gimbal work with the native camera app.
Apart from the zoom.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So it's a win-win, really.
DJI Pocket
Apart from the
2
zoom, but yeah.
HEVC.
Well, I've got to actually connect the gimbal up to this, and now I've got this one.
I think the pockets are handy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Matt puts his in his mouth like when he's climbing down ladders, and it's good to.
I didn't realise it could bend like that.
Yeah, it's good when you're going up and down ladders because you got a little bracket on the bottom of yours, mate. You just grip it on your teeth, don't you?
Yeah, I mean it's off a GoPro. This little bit here, and basically I undo it, move that out, and then I can put it.
Ball gag.
Yeah.
Cool ball in there.
It's like you're going diving.
It's not bad, but you've got to make sure there's no shit and filth on the bloody that. So I've got to clean it, but I wouldn't mind being able to just put it on my chest, like on a chest harness thing, which I've kind of been looking into because that would be just easy to have my hands free. Like more often have my hands free.
It's a shame you couldn't get some sort of bracket to fit them to, like, the bracket the body cams fit onto.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame you couldn't get something to fit them onto those.
Yeah.
Not to leave there, but just while you're climbing and things,
That's it, yeah.
I do have a chest harness somewhere for a GoPro if you want it, Matt. If it's sort of got the right attachments on the bottom.
It's got so much weight. It would be doing this. It's kind of like you need something that's got a massive plate basically that would hold it steady. I think you could put it on a hat, a helmet. Like you could put it on a helmet, but then you risk knocking it into things, which I've done many, many times with things I have on helmets. If you have a helmet and you have a camera up there, you are going to smack it all the time, and that is not going to take lightly, being smacked. So, yeah,
that's why GoPro are good, really, because they last longer, don't they? When smashing into things.
Yeah. I mean, you can afford to smash into something with a GoPro. Yeah,
isn't that what Kaylee uses? GoPro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hers is quite nice actually. Touchscreen as well.
The only thing with the GoPro is obviously you're not using a gimbal, so you've just got that bounce around thing going on, haven't you? That's the problem.
Yeah. I think the newest ones, if you go, I'm not sure if it's 4K, but if you use a lower resolution, you can use this like smoothing thing, which stops rotation as well as up and down. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect by any means, and it doesn't work well in the dark. Whereas the Pocket will work perfectly as a gimbal in the dark. The GoPro relies on being able to see the pixels, and it's working out where things are. It's not gyro stabilized. It's literally looking at the image. So when it gets dark, it suddenly starts wandering, and it's scooting around. So they still haven't sorted it out really with GoPro, and it's a lot of money. And they keep on bringing out another one and another one and another one, and they just don't bring out like the proper features, like so in the dark keep the image steady. And also, I mean, like it's same old little sensors which are really grainy in the dark. They're crap. So why haven't GoPro brought out a 1-inch sensor version with like an A7S quality, sees in the dark? They would just floor the market. And why not 10-bit color? Everybody's been saying like, well, why not 10-bit color? It's the same old H.264, small sensor, just a few more little, features, but not like groundbreaking. It's always daytime features, never nighttime features. It's like they don't consider that people use GoPros at night.
Yeah,
especially us lot.
If they can make a GoPro with f-stops like an Alpha A7S, you'd be laughing.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're just selling the same. I mean, they've just been selling it the same since the GoPro Hero 4. You know, they've actually got things which get rid of the barrel effect. You know, that's done digitally; it straightens it out. And then they brought in like anti-shake. You know, and that's about it. You know, it's same camera, re-released every time. Same
the
crap.
anti-shake is useless if it's dark, isn't it? It can't cope with it.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but some of the big YouTubers are using A7s, but they're not using gimbals, and the footage is terrible. I can't watch it. I switch it off.
Yeah.
I just won't watch it.
Yeah. I don't understand why, but then to use an A7 with a gimbal is it's a very heavy setup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I give it light, I think this is as good as the A7. To be honest, really, for most applications, where the A7 shines is it's slightly wider than this. And it's just great in low light. I mean, you can turn the lights off almost, and you're still getting, still.
Have you seen that? What do you think of that A7C? Have you seen that?
No.
It's a compact version of the A7. It's smaller. It doesn't have the capability of the S to do nighttime, but it's a good camera spec, and it's cheaper.
Looking at it now, but the thing is, it's so small anyway. I mean, how can they make it smaller?
Yeah,
it's a small camera as it is. I mean, how can they actually make it any smaller?
It's pretty tiny. It seems to me, I haven't seen one in the flesh, but it looks to me like they've kind of built it the same kind of size as these A6000.
Well, I think the biggest feature it's got really is it's like the A6300s. It's that size, right? But the biggest feature it's got a flip out screen.
Yeah,
which people have been screaming for.
Yeah,
it's
when you vlog in, isn't it? Basically, when you can see what you're doing.
Yeah. But I mean, that screen can't be on the A7. You can turn the screen towards you down without having to move it out. Now, if you want to move the screen down, you have to flip it out and then turn it down. So.
I think the C is less than £2,000, though, isn't it?
£1,359.
Yeah.
But it's got a 1-inch sensor, and has it got a 1-inch sensor? I think it has.
Still mirrorless, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
John Bengals just said, in bed now, but can't believe I've just seen a milkman deliver this time of the morning. That's crazy. Like 3-4 o'clock maybe, but this time.
That is making an early start, isn't it?
It's like 12 degrees outside. It's not like fridge temp, is it?
Oh, the A7SC does have 5-axis steady shot image stabilization, so it's got that built in as well. So, but I wonder what the equivalent one it is. It's just the A7, basically, which is the...
I think it is, yeah.
It's just the A7, not the A7R, not the A7S.
It's equivalent to the A7 III. So it's like the newest version of the A7, I believe.
Wow. So if it's equivalent to the A7 III, then that's a good price, really, for an A7 III.
Yeah. Not the S3, no, mind, just the 7.
No. A7 III, yeah, that's a good price, brand new, for a camera.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think people, they're too expensive for most people. These things, they are very expensive cameras, and I mean, the A7S III, I mean, it was like $3,500 they wanted for it.
Yeah,
and it's just like, yeah, great.
Crazy money in it, really.
It's got 10-bit color. Yeah, well, so did the Panasonic GH4, and it didn't cost $3,500. You know what I mean? So what is it? It shoots in low light. Yeah. So the S did, but it's just like, you want to put $1,000 on it because it's got 10-bit color. It's just got the same features as the A7S2.
I think it's got that sort of what do you call it? The focusing, the following focusing thing going on, isn't it? With the eyes and things. does
Yeah,
that.
it's got better focusing, and it shoots in 10-bit color. That's it. You know, that's the only real things that's got that makes it different. Still the same sensor.
Yeah.
You know, so charging £1,000 more for a feature like that is a bit cheeky, really.
Not even Apple do that.
With the S, how many megapixels do you get out of that?
It's only 12.
Yeah, it's quite low on it. But like the R is about 60 megapixels, I think, and then the S is about 24. Is it, something like that?
Yeah. No, the S is 12. The
Sorry, not the
normal
S,
one,
just the 7 is
the
24.
normal
something
one,
like that,
yeah,
is it?
is 20 odd, 24, and the R is 60
Yeah.
in the 3 version, anyway.
Yeah.
It's not 60 in the 2R version. So yeah.
It's still pretty high though, isn't it? It's still.
Yeah, well, the R is designed for photography,
Yeah.
and the S is designed for videography in low light. You know, but they've all got different purposes. Like the 7 is for general. But the image quality for daylight use that you get out of the R is unbelievable, because it's like got a very, very high res sensor. So it's almost like you've got an 8K sensor shooting down to 4K. So you're getting this really, really sharp, you know. And
that's the other thing with the A7S3. That shoots in 8K, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Doesn't it?
No. It's only 4K. Well, the only thing they do, Sony, now, they've got this new one called, is it the R or A, or so? It's like the what the fuck's it called now? It's the new one.
They got the A9 as well, haven't they?
Yeah, Sony.
Right, guys,
like
I'm heading off to bed. I've got to be up early in the morning, so
Yeah, I'm going.
All right, mate. Cheers for coming on.
yeah, no worries. And I'll speak to you
A1
about the weekend later later on tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, mate.
See you later, Ray.
Bye.
Cheers. Cheers. The Sony A1, I think they're saying it shoots in low light like the A7S, but it shoots at 8K as well, 10-bit, but it's only $6,500.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, they don't want you to have this unless you're going to pay the money.
Yeah. I know the 9 was silly money as well, I think, but
yeah. But the thing is, it's like, well, you know, if they're selling loads of them, then fair enough. But if they're not selling many of them, then it's like, well, take a hint, boys.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in fairness, I mean, they're bringing out cameras quite regularly, so they do lower the prices, don't they? Every time they bring a new one out, they throw the prices down on the previous, but it's still too much money.
I think everyone was gagging so much for the A7S3. I think they're still out of stock. I think a lot of, you know, let's just see. A7S3. See if you can buy one. Buy one now for £3,799. Yeah.
How much was it?
3,799.
What?
Yeah, I know. And they've got 3 in stock, so there are places who've got them in stock now, but they were out to, you know, yeah, no one had them for a while. I'd be interested to see what the quality of that A7C is like, because if it's got the same focus things that the A7S3, sorry, A7 III and A7S3, because they both have this good focusing thing. If they've got that, that's a cheap camera.
Yeah, it's a lot of camera for the money, that one, is there? I think if you go on YouTube and search up, like for example, A7C versus A7 III, there are some videos up that do comparisons between the different cameras, and they do a comparison with the S and things like that. And obviously the S just smashes it out with the darkness, but you know, the other features on it are good. So there are loads of videos to watch with it.
Yeah. Oh, this is dickheads, you know, like somebody saying, Will they ever have HEVC on an Osmo Pocket, and then like some prat is like who's like a big moderator? He goes, "You don't need to have H.265. Why would you want it? It's good enough. The H.264 is perfectly fine. It's 8-bit.
Big file sizes.
Yeah, and it's a 420. Yeah, there you go. He just said it. He goes, it's perfectly fine. It's 8-bit. 8-bit shit. 420 is shit. So why isn't it 422? And why is it not 10-bit? And why can't we have HEVC? Because if we had 10-bit, 422, HEVC, we'd have small file sizes, we'd have bloody great color, and we wouldn't have smudginess in the color pixels because it'd be 422 color. Yeah. So this fucking moron here is like going, oh, you don't need that because, well, that would be like good, but it's good anyway. And it's like, mate, it's not good. It's like your car's got 2 wheels, you know. But it's like, oh, but it's good though. It goes down the road fine, just fine. I go down the road perfectly well on it. And it's like, no, mate. No. You've obviously never seen what good looks like.
It's gooder.
Yeah. I mean, you know, 420, which a lot of cameras shoot in. I think even the A7S is 420. You know, and it's the color is smudgy. It's smudgy color between 4 sets of pixels. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like everything's in sets of 4. So the pixels are in sets of 4, sets of 4, sets of 4, and there's 1 color pixel for 4 detailed pixels. That's what it means. Yeah. So it's like the colors are 1/4 of the quality of the, you know, the black and white image. So you have a black and white image with just smudgy color put on, and you know, it's rubbish. 420 is rubbish.
Why would you need it? But why do you need that?
Yeah. You know, and like 422 is what's classed as like the broadcast standard is 422, and 420 is given to the consumers because it's like, you can't have the 422 because you're not paying enough. Yeah. But ultimately, it's like what you really want is 444, which is known as RAW. So, you know, like the black and white image is not just black and white with some color on top of it. It's actually all the red pixels, all the green pixels, and all the blue pixels in full resolution.
Yeah.
444. Yeah. So, you know, but they don't like giving that away because that's like, ooh, that is for broadcast professionals. You know, you can't have that, sir. We like to charge lots of money for that. Yeah.
Ooh,
That's all it is a codec at the end of the day. It's like, you know, the sensors are capable of giving it out. It's just whether or not you've got fast enough hard drive recording to record it at the data rate it wants, you know, and it's whether they're prepared to give it to you. And the answer is no, not unless you want to spend 60 grand on a red camera or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually, tell a lie now. You can do RAW. If you buy an Atomos Shogun or a Ninja, they record RAW, the newest ones. And some of these new cameras, like the A7S III possibly, and definitely the A1, output RAW. So you can, but they can't record it themselves in the cameras. The cameras themselves can't record it, but they output it on HDMI. So what you do is you buy the camera, and then you don't use the camera's viewfinder. You know, you use an Atomos recorder above it. You plug it in, and you can record RAW onto the Atomos.
So you basically got to carry a second device around to actually record it.
Yeah, but it's for people who are like, if you want to record RAW, you're obviously making films, you know, because we don't necessarily need that quality, but it would be nice to have it because grading wise, it would mean that provided you always shoot so that you don't burn out your sky, right? The rest of the image could be black. You know, you always shoot to the sky, so the sky is detailed, and you don't give a shit about everything else looking black. When you get home,
you pull it all out.
You can pull it all back up. The blacks.
I do exactly the same because obviously I do a lot of stills photography, and I shoot everything in RAW. and I edit with Lightroom, and I just pull everything out because all the data's in there.
Yeah.
And even if
Amazing,
you
file sizes.
even if you take a
Amazing.
shit picture, you can make it great.
Yeah. But you always don't overexpose. You know, it's like
Yeah. Once you've lost that, it's gone.
Yeah. But the file sizes are not too bad. I mean, actually, you know, Apple have invented a new codec which is being taken up by a lot of people. It's the new ProRes RAW, and that is in the Atomos. That's what it records in. It shoots in ProRes RAW, because there's ProRes 444 and there's ProRes RAW. Now, RAW is actually, it's a slightly compressed. So it shoots it in RAW, but data sizes can be slightly compressed, even though it can pull it out as exactly RAW again. But it uses slight compression. But I think you're talking in the order of probably what was ProRes HQ? I think it was about 40 gigs. It's probably about 200 gigs an hour, something like that. Minimum.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I used to notice that with the stills. If we were shooting in JPEG, low quality, you'd get like, I don't know, on a I can't remember the size card I was using at the time, but I get like, say, for argument's sake, 3,000 photos on it. Switch it over to RAW, and you get like 500. Do you know what I mean? It's massive files on stills. So.
Yeah.
The annoying thing for me with thumbnails on YouTube is it's maximum 2 megabytes, and it has to be JPEG, because quite often you want to export in PNG because it preserves a lot of the quality, but 2 megabyte for a thumbnail on YouTube is so small. I mean, I know it's a small image ultimately, but the rise in, you know, TVs and stuff, it's nice if it's a bit.
That's the thing. If you're watching YouTube on, you know, a normal TV with a Roku box or something, your thumbnails are suddenly not tiny anymore. They're
exactly, yeah.
It's 7 inches, but you know, wide or something, aren't they? So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna shoot because I'm working early as well. So
It's just 2 to 1. So
1 a.m. How many people are actually still watching, by the way?
Got
Sorry,
108 in.
Yeah,
wow.
110. I
think we were on
hardcore
170 odd earlier. But I'll sort of end it. It's 1 o'clock. So
okay, thank you.
We'll get mate. Yeah. So thanks guys for coming on. Thanks everyone in the chat for heading over from. I know some of you are from Matt, so thanks for heading over and all your comments and stuff. So should have a video premiere in the next 2-3 days, so stay tuned for that. Hoping it's the abandoned time capsule video. So
make sure you tune in because there might be some pornographic content in it as well. So
there might well be. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
I might get my flange out.
The secret sausage will make a return.
Secret sausage.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thanks very much.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. Anyway, adios, guys.
All the best.
And as we say, we'll see you in the next.
Cheers now.
Cheers, folks. Cheers.
Bye, guys.